everybody, and welcome back to the Miss Phins Show. I am your host, Miss Phins. Thank you so much for coming through, guys. Thank you. Okay, now, see, that's too low. There you go, guys. How you guys doing? Welcome. Much appreciated. Thank you for the support. You guys already know what I'm going to ask. You know what I'm going to say. Go ahead and hit that like button, guys. Hit the like button, share, subscribe. Let everybody know we are live right now. Oh, man. Thank you guys for coming through. Really do appreciate it. As you can hear, I'm doing a lot better. Guys, it's been rough. I'm not going to lie. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I've been really under the weather and it's been up and down. It's been crazy for the last 2 weeks. And I've been battling it, guys. I have been battling it, but I appreciate you guys understanding and being there for me and all your well wishes. So thank you guys. I really do appreciate it because it is not easy, but it's definitely appreciated. So thank you so much for coming through, and thank you for supporting all the time. So I appreciate you guys. And today we are discussing, obviously, we're gonna be discussing, like I put up there, the day two mini cam and the Williams holdout. We're going to be discussing a few things, guys. So go ahead and continue to hit that like button. I just want to say thank you so much for coming through. We are so close to 1,000 subscriber, guys. We're going to make it. I believe in us. I know that it's not easy, but we will make it happen. And you guys are absolutely the best. So thank you so much for helping us get to our goal. We want to do it before the season starts, so that'd be great. And we're so close. I have no doubt that we'll be able to make it. So thank you so much, guys, for all of that. As I always say, guys, as a public service announcement, keep it clean so that way the kids could see it. This is a family friendly show. Obviously, we do have debates, we have awesomeness, but guess what? We want everybody to feel comfortable getting it. So thank you so much, guys, for always respecting the show and keep remembering it. PBS Kids. And as I always say, we win together, Dolphin fans. We lose together, Dolphins for life. So thank you so much, guys, for being here with me. I really do appreciate each and every single one of you guys. You guys are the best. Oh man, oh man, oh man. So yeah, guys, we're gonna be discussing all of these goodies here, just so that way you can go ahead and take a look at it. A couple of players that I want to single out to give you guys some information here, but I feel like the easiest way right now, and before I start, obviously, I want to go. Let's see here. Okay, before I start that, I want to go ahead and real quick, 2 seconds, because I have to do it. It's South Florida. We have to discuss it. Last night, the Miami Heat fell to the Denver Nuggets at home. Now they're down 2-1 in the series. Hopefully, next game on Friday, we'll be able to take it. They just didn't show up. They had zero energy, and it was very frustrating. As a Miami Heat fan, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was very disappointed because I really thought that this game we should have been able to roll through with the momentum and kind of take it, at home. First time in like 300 years that we have a home finals game, and we just didn't show up at all. So, but this second game, I do expect them to bounce back, take back control. We are gonna have to eventually win over there in Denver again, and it's gonna be tough. And I'm not really sure what else to say except go Heat, because you can't be this close to winning it all and just give up. You're not gonna be able to live with yourself. So let's make it happen, guys. And as a Florida Panther fan, obviously, I gotta say it. They play tonight versus Las Vegas. They laid massive eggs to first game one and two. This is the first game over here, down here in Sunrise, Florida, the greatest city on earth. And Good luck to the Panthers, man. We have to win. If we can take these two games at home, even out the series, that'd be great. It's gonna be very tough. I mean, Las Vegas is a phenomenal team, and honestly, at this point, we're getting horrific goalie play, and because of that, I'm not sure if it's gonna be right. I don't know what's going on with Bobrovsky, but Sergey is just not there. Allowed 8 goals in 2 games. Then we brought in Lyon, and he allowed another 3 goals. It's just 5 goals actually. Wait, 3 goals, 3 goals. So yeah, at this point, we need better goalie play. Hopefully, Maurice, the head coach, can get them ready, get them going, get them focused. And we need to stop making ridiculous penalties, guys, because we can be tough. I don't mind checking players, but can we stop with all these ridiculous like misconduct fouls and you're out for 10 minutes? Kachuk, 3 times in the same game. Like, come on, man. We gotta be smarter than that. Play smarter hockey and just really take the opportunities we get. There you go. So that's your update for South Florida sports. Hopefully, we can make it happen. But it is what it is. So before we get to where is it? Where is it? So now we get to discuss obviously. Um, there it is. We get to discuss day 2 in minicamp and Connor Williams' holdout. But before I get there, I want to say hello to everybody in here. Good morning, Jeremiah. Good morning. Happy Thursday, everyone. We are live. We're here. Let's get the party started. Hope you're feeling better today and even better tomorrow. Let's go, Dolphins. Thank you so much, Jeremiah. Like I said earlier, it's been up and down. Obviously, I sound much better, so thank you for your well wishes, guys. It's been rough, but I've been, just trying to work at it day in and day out. Good morning, Dolphin State of Mind. Love your logo, man. Absolutely love your logo. Good morning, Miss Fins. Good morning, Adam S. Good morning. Fins up, y'all. Scotty, good morning. It's all those Bills and Pats fans you keep around that gave you the ick. You're hilarious. Oh, it's hilarious. Hey man, listen, when you love sports, you love football. You gotta welcome everybody. You gotta welcome everybody. Panthers tonight, they need to bounce back. Absolutely, absolutely. Good morning, delusional. Maybe it's to his physical weakness. I can't. Y'all are too much. I literally can't. Good morning, Lady Dolphin, Miss Vincent, everybody. How y'all doing this morning? Check your pulse, Fins up. Thank you so much, Chef 2. Doing better. Obviously, you guys can hear it. I'm doing way better. So, thank you guys. I really, really appreciate your well wishes. The M Marlins ranked number 2. That's great. But until they're the Florida Marlins, I will not support them. You guys already know I'm a Florida Marlins girl. I am not a Miami Marlins. Can't stand that name. My Florida Marlins won 2 World Series, and I watched both of them. So, yeah, when they become Florida Marlins, I'm telling you right now, we'll win another World Series. Good morning, Michelle, my girl. How you doing? Good morning, everyone. Fins up. Oh, thank you for the support. Appreciate you, Adam and Chef. Dude, let's go. Yes. Hopefully, we can bring out 1,000,000 rats because we get we get the win. We gotta keep it close, guys. For the Panthers, we gotta keep it close. We gotta keep it within 1 to 2 goals, and I think we should be fine. So, another day closer to football. Miami Dolphins football. Yes, I can't wait. Oh Lord, seriously. So let's talk about it, guys. Day 2 mini camp. So just so you know, Teron Armstead was not there today. Yesterday, sorry. But it's just vet rest. You know him. He'll make it to the 11 games. We need him to make it to 12 if we're lucky. But he doesn't really practice. It is what it is. We're not wearing out his tires, that's for sure. We're going to keep him for what we need, which is a season. I mean, he's a veteran for a reason. He knows what he's doing. We don't really need too much from him except for him to excel once he's in. Well, I just realized got a few hats that are missing. I got to put those puppies up again. But yeah, so right now, Teron not playing. It's okay, ladies and gentlemen. He'll be fine. Tyreek also got a rest. We're not really worried about Tyreek. It's Tyreek. Second year in the same offense, all he gotta do is run anyways, just whoosh, and that's it. So it's not really it's it's not hard. so so yeah, we're not worried about that either. Let's see here. There was something I wanted to. Oh, this is why I don't. So give me a moment, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. No, don't stop. Okay. Um. Yes. So that's the update with those two guys. No big deal. You know what I mean? We should be good. We should be fine. As far as what do you call it? As far as the rest of it goes, guys, Connor Williams, listen, he is our center. He switched when we got him last year from left guard, being one of the better left guards in the league, to be number 4 as a center. Massively reduced the number of fouls that he used to get in penalties to being actually a really, really good center. So, with that being said, that's somebody that we want to obviously go ahead and continue to bring back. But he wants his money. So, he signed a 2 year, $14 million deal with the Miami Dolphins last year that would allow him to earn obviously 14 mil. He's looking for an extension. He wants to be part of the team. He just wants to be able to secure in case, obviously, guys, we know what happens. Injuries happen, things happen, and he wants to make sure that at least he's taken care of. And because of that, he's looking to go ahead and get some dinero. I'm not even surprised, guys. I really am not. I'm not. With Connor Williams, guys, look, the league is seeing what the Dolphins are doing right now. The Dolphins are locked in. The Dolphins are one of, I would honestly say, 5 teams outside the top 5 that are perennial. They're going to the playoffs slash AFC Championship at this point. You know what those teams are, but then there's that next 5 teams that are really going all in, and you see it every year. There's at least out of the 32 teams, there's always going to be 5 that are always there, and then like the next year, the 5 that are just gonna give everything up to be able to happen. We saw Tampa Bay do it; they won the Super Bowl. We saw the Rams do it; they won the Super Bowl. So it's a pattern that will continue. And you know what? I mean, hey, if it gets you a Super Bowl, nobody mad. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Then you got the next years of teams that are really trying to build for longevity. We're kind of like a hybrid because we do want to have some longevity, but for the most part, guys, we're building because we know we're pushing hard to get that Super Bowl within the next 2 years. This year, next year, and if we can squeeze the year after to go ahead and make that happen. As far as the Connor Williams concern is that we don't have anybody really. Let's be real. I'm not gonna pretend like we just don't have anybody. We got Feeney. Get out of here, man. We don't have anybody, and because of that, we want to make sure that the people that we do have, we're able to go ahead and keep. Right now, the offensive line, as much as people have been complaining, myself included. Let me not pretend like I haven't done it either. We've been extremely critical of the offensive line because we see that being part of one of the major needs in this team. However, guys, they went from 32 to 22. So it's not like they weren't bad. You know what I mean? They definitely increased. They got better. That's what you want to see out of your O line. But with Connor Williams, we don't have anybody. We got Dan Feeney. That's it. Like we got Feeney. You can say we got Ulave, the undrafted UDFA, undrafted free agent, but let's be real, we have nobody. Nobody that's gonna give you top 5 production like Connor Williams at this point. And we already know we don't really have depth in the O line anyways, so that doesn't help. So that's kind of like the issue that we have right now dealing with this. Let's see. Yeah, we got an active chat tonight. Let's check him out. Let's see here. Hey, good morning, Shake Bunny. How you doing? How you doing? Good morning, everyone. Seriously, Panthers, get your stuff together. I get it, Michelle. Trust me. Tyndall and Long already dealing with issues is a concern, and we're gonna discuss about them. Trust me, we will discuss about them. Uh, yeah, no need to wear sit down. True, true. 100% agree with you, Michelle. Let's go Panthers. Yup. Get your money, Connor. Don't take no deal. Get paid. Okay, delusional Patriots fan. Of course, you'd say that. You're a You're a Patriots fan, so I get it. I get it. Let's see here. Now I'm too hot. There you go. Much better. I'm not too worried about Connor. He won't sit the season, in my opinion. Staking. He's still making 7 mil cash this season. He is, but they all want to get more money and they want to get more years. So we'll see. Connor wants his money before Miami pulls the sorry no more money left trick that GM's pull. True, it is true. Good morning, B Mac D. Cut him. Hey, listen, trade him right now. I get it. Trade him. Is there any logic behind that? Maybe there might be. You can't have one decent year and demand money, though. I mean, some people have. Some people have. And he sees everything we brought in. Yeah. Pay the man. Listen, I get it. He's worth the money, in my opinion. How much does he want? So, great question. Let me answer that, B MacD. And again, good morning to you. As far as what he wants, it hasn't really been said out there as far as what he wants. Some rumors based on the market, because right now I mean, the top earning um center in the league is uh Jason Kelsey. Obviously, if the Eagles, if I'm not mistaken, he's making 14 mil. He ain't trying to get no $14 million, but this is the thing. Even if he were to go ahead and get, ask for more money, because right now he is getting 7 million. So he's already getting the 10th most money right now, that $7 million amount that he's getting. But based on the top 10, including him, because he's technically number 10, he wants longevity too. So one of the things that I've heard and proposed, guys, keep hitting the like button. Keep helping out the channel. Keep hitting the like button. We got 15 people in the building. We need a few more likes. So let's go ahead and get the likes up, guys. I appreciate you guys. Um, he wants more money, but he also wants more contracts. So he probably wants at least 2 years, maybe an extension, 3 years. With that, you can give him a little bit more money, maybe a bigger signing bonus, a roster bonus, all that good stuff. It's gonna cost us some money, but I think we could be able to make it happen if we were to give him a big signing bonus, and then even perhaps give him maybe an extra year just so we can move the money around and then have less cap hit this year. So it just depends on Connor Williams what he's willing to take, but he is making $7 million, so he probably are gonna want to make like a little bit more than that. Top four guys right now is Jason Kelsey making 14.3 million. Frank Ragnow is making 13.5. Ryan Jensen making 13 mil before he re-signed to Tampa Bay. He was somebody that we were looking into, and then Corey Linsley is making $12.5 million, so he's number 4. Right now, Connor Williams is ranked number 4 according to PFF, so he's probably wanting to get between that 10 to 13 million dollars, I guess, per year. I don't think we're gonna give him that, if I'm gonna be honest with you, but I could see him getting at least 10 a year, maybe for the next 2 years. and then we can add an extra year just so we can move the money around. Or if we give him 2 year extension, get him to $10 million a year, we'll be able to go ahead and give him a fat signing bonus. Let Stephen Ross eat that money, and then that'll allow us to go ahead and lower that cap hit. So, but right now, that's essentially what you're dealing with when it comes to that. I'd race you one, Dalvin Cook. Oh, we'll see. Good morning, Chris Ruiz. Buenos dias, Miss Finch. I've been missing your show for a couple of weeks. I'm horrible. It's okay, Cruz. Me too. No, I'm just kidding. I've been really, really sick actually for the last 2 weeks, man. Now like 2.5 weeks. So trust me when I tell you. Oh, I feel so much better, so much better. You guys can actually hear me. I can breathe because I was not. It was bad, but it's okay, Cruz. I appreciate you, buddy. Definitely appreciate you. Trade him to the Vikings. So I'm assuming you're saying trade Connor Williams to the Vikings for Cook, but they already released Cook, so we'll see. Good morning, Mark. How you doing? Good morning, sir. Good morning, Miss Phins. Wilkins better get paid before Williams. You never know, ladies and gentlemen. You never know. He just needs to work on his snaps, which I'm sure he's been doing this offseason. I agree. His snaps have been a little bit high. That's probably the one thing, really, that he has to work out the most, Connor Williams. But we'll see. We do have several players that still need to get paid. I mean, although you still got Christian Wilkins, you got Zyler, you got Hunt, and then obviously Williams. Several players that still need to get extensions. We'll see how they prioritize those. But this is the other thing too. Connor Williams has only been doing the center position for 1 year. Granted, he did well, but you want to see continuity and consistency. You just don't want to see 1 year and then call it a day. You know what I mean? Guys, keep hitting that like button. I really do appreciate it. So please continue to hit that like button. Let everybody else know we're live. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you. Um, let's see here. So that's the main thing right now with when it comes to Connor Williams that we're dealing with at this moment. Let's see here. Connor is being paid top 8 center contract. He wants security, more years. And I think that's really where he's focusing on. Not only obviously the money, but I still think he really wants to be able to secure the years because I mean, let's be honest, guys. Connor Williams right now, he was able to show that his adaptiveness to the new role, obviously. But he is not right. He is up there, and he can definitely continue to be successful. Because although he's a little higher end on age, he's 26. But if he went from not really doing the position to four, let's be real, he can easily demand top 5 money. And if there's a team out there thirsty enough, they can really give it to him. He play out his last year this year and really go out for that top money. I don't think he's gonna hold out for the entire year, but hey, we've seen players do it. You know what I mean? We have seen players do it. That's the only thing. Connor had a 2 year deal, and this year is the out. He might just want an extension with guarantees beyond this year. I think that's one of the major things. I think he really does want just the extra years, obviously more money, but the extra years. Because he sees what we're building. He wants to be part of it. Now, where the Dolphins messed up, ladies and gentlemen, we didn't draft a center. And we didn't invest in the position. You know what I mean? Or even draft like, yeah, we didn't draft a center. I mean, we just didn't. And I don't know if that was by design. I don't know if they thought, oh, we're fine. We got Connor Williams. We'll be able to. Players are players. You know what I mean? And anybody that wants to say, hey, well, they signed a contract, they should honor it, please. Teams don't honor contracts. How many times we've seen a player say, "Oh, this player got $100 million contract, $37 million guaranteed," like, and they only get the 37 mil, and that's it. Where's the rest of the $70 million? You know what I mean? Or $60 million guaranteed. They only get the 60 million, and then the extra 40 they don't because they get cut or whatever. So yeah, teams don't honor their contracts ever, practically. So players don't have to, shouldn't have to honor their contract, but I wouldn't, if he really wants that extension, I wouldn't. I don't see how. What do you call it? I don't see how sitting out like that would really make him. And I'm aware he can sit out till week 11, Mark. But I just don't see him sitting out, especially if he wants to do it, because I mean we can pick up people. That's the thing. Uh, let's see here. He probably wants 11 minimum. Maybe he probably does. I think honestly 10. It's like the floor for him, but we'll see. Time to cook. Oh, I see how what you did there. Cut Carson and give Connor his 10 million. Easy peasy. I doubt that, man. Uh, the last thing Dolphins can do is to have a disgruntled lineman when you have two huge shows already and no viable does. Yeah, it's true. And let's see here. John Dew. Good morning, John Dew. A Train is. Oh, A Chain. Oh, unless that's his nickname already, then A. That's cute. Um, but he knows we need him. Yeah, we didn't get any backup. Let's see here. Uh, I love the Pats and Bills fans trying to make something out of the Connor holdout, looking for some kind of kink in our armor. They be scared. Scott, I mean, hey, no, they're just making it aware, which is a good thing. You know, there are so many linemen available. That is true. So it's not like we don't have options. We could always we could always pick up players. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of practice squad players. We could always develop somebody. Maybe we can get somebody, pick somebody up for training camp, release someone else. I mean, JC Dretter is still technically out there. Jake Lucina is also out there. Pat Elfane is also out there. Nick Martin and Ben Jones are also out there. So there are free agent centers available, but we got to see. Is it, are they going to work with the scheme that we're trying to do? It's, it's not as easy peasy as some people may think, guys. So, yeah. He'll make a free at the end of the year. Yeah, I know. Let's see here. I'm not scared. I'm seeing a situation that never should have happened. This whole issue makes no sense at all. Yeah, that part I agree. How's gonna only now a made up past Bills fans thing? It came from McDaniel's spouse. No, I think it's more of you guys talking about it and I guess hyping it up and stuff. I don't know. But listen, it doesn't help. I'll tell you that. Especially since we are trying to go all in. It doesn't help when you have one of your strongest parts in your O line, which it's already in question, hold out for money. This is where the GM needs to GM because you've got four players you gotta extend, including this guy. And let's be honest, we need him. It is what it is. We got roughly 14 million, $15 million right now in space. I already told you guys that last week. Chris Greer's gonna take most of that into the season because players are gonna go down. We're gonna have to pick up somebody. So I see most of that money being used for that. However, I can see how they can extend. Maybe give them a 3-year extension. That last year being a dead year, just so we can spread the money out. It'll still probably be the same 20 mil that he'll end up getting most of it as a signing bonus. And then from there, kind of lowering the cap space for the next 2 years. You know what I mean? Or the next 3 years, in a sense. That is what I can see us doing, and I think that might be the best thing for us. It gives him longevity, which is what he wants. We get to see him for another year. He gets a little bit of raise as well. Um, but it would more than anything else, it would give us the flexibility of again still having some cap room and still actually solidifying another part of the O line because Robert Hunt is one that we will eventually need to get extended too. But he's a solid person in our O line as our right guard, and then having Connor Williams as a center solidified, that's gonna be great for us. Guys, keep hitting that like button. We got 20 people in here. We need 10 more likes, so let's make it happen, guys. Hit the like button for us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep hitting that like button. Keep hitting the like button, guys. Let's see here. He wants his money, and it's known. That's why he's not at OTAs. Yeah. Again, I do believe that he will come back, so I don't think it's gonna be a full holdout. In my opinion, overall, I really do believe that it's gonna be available for him. Okie dokie. So that was a Connor Williams a holdout. Now I get to discuss a couple of other things here that some players that have actually been standing out, which I'm very happy about. Hmm. Excuse me. Chucks Berry. Uh, there it is. Okay, okay. So, again, obviously the orange jersey went back to Christian Wilkins. I mean, we're giving him all his flowers because he's showing out. He's exactly what you want out of your players. So let's talk about Wilkins for a second. Wilkins, like last year, like the year before, he has been extremely consistent. Exactly what you want out of your players. Christian Wilkins is just dominating, which is what you would expect, especially for somebody that's looking for the bag, somebody that's looking for obviously that contract extension. He's doing really well, guys, in minicamp. He really is doing really well in minicamp right now. You're seeing his impact on the field, which is what you want to see. I can't wait till training camp when they open it up for fans. Oh God, I hope it's in a weekend because I work Monday to Friday. But yeah, I'm ecstatic because to me, Christian Wilkins, he's he's there. He wants to play for Miami. He already said it multiple times that he's letting his agent deal with the money and deal with the contract. He wants to play and wants to continue. He knows he can get a bag anywhere else. He knows that. It's not even a question. Like yeah, he goes anywhere else, he's getting top dollar. Period. Period. So having Christian Wilkins there and for him to be consistent for us, it's phenomenal. He honestly, I think he's just gonna continue to build on what he's learned, and he's been developing so well for us that Christian Wilkins will be he's already one of the cornerstones when it comes to our defense. He's going to continue to lay that foundation. He's going to continue to grow, continue to develop, and he's going to in turn help develop the younger guys behind him. This extension is coming, ladies and gentlemen, whether people like it or not. His extension is coming, in my opinion. They're just working out the money. Listen, if the Browns can give $233 million fully guaranteed, 230 fully guaranteed to Deshaun Watson, and only have his cap hit be $1 million the first year, we can manage to get Christian Wilkins an extension of a nice, you know, decent contract, maybe 5 years, I'm sure. And probably might be the length of the contract that more than the money that could be the issue too. But if we can go ahead and make that happen, guys, I'm all for it because Christian Wilkins, he's great. Now, I've already told you because he is such a great addition or continuation in the team, he's also a number one trading chip. You say what you want, don't like me for what I'm saying, but it is a fact. Christian Wilkins is our number one player as a trading chip, period. But we don't need to really trade for anybody right now. So we are good. Okay? And he's got his 5th year option. We already paid him for this 5th year option that he's going to be playing this year. So he's got a nice chunk of change this year. We're just going to be extending him. I don't even see us having to do it anytime soon, to be honest with you. It could be the middle of the season for us to extend him at this point. We've got time, and I think that's why he's not even worried about it because he knows he wants to be here and he knows he can get the money. So he's playing for a contract and he's doing well. So yeah. Uh, I see you, Michelle. Let's see here. Anyone on our defense looking to get paid will benefit from playing out this season first. True. Michigan's a new contract at Oliver receives sets the floor for Christian Wilkins. That is true. That is true. A lot of defensive ends and DTs have been setting the market, man. Ed Oliver is definitely one of them for two reasons. One, he's good at his position, A, and B, division, same division. So Michelle says, you know how I feel about Christian. That's my man. No trades, Miss Phins. I got you, girl. Trust me, I get it. I get it. But I do have to bring it up because listen, at the end of the day, he's one of our biggest pieces. We have to acknowledge the fact that it is a possibility. Okay? That's the only reason why I say it. Miss Fitz, I think an out of the box move Greer might make is at linebacker. I can see a trade using some draft capital from next year. Maybe. Maybe. That's for sure. Wilkins gonna steamroller this season. That's the goal. That is the goal. So, hey, we gotta make it happen. But yes, Christian Wilkins, right there, he's been getting a lot of praise. He got the orange jersey again from yesterday. Not surprised at all. It's him. So it's a player that you could expect for him to be very very effective. Another one, and you know what? Y'all may say nothing, but I gotta do it, man. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. You may like it or not, but man, we gotta give it up to Tua. Tua is showing that he is being a leader. He's directing the offense, which is something that we all know he can do. Just hasn't done it. And you know what? One thing that I can say about Tua, especially in this offseason so far, is that he's showing the leadership. And you can see it out there based on the reports, based on the videos that we've seen. You see it out there. Tua is showing that leadership. He's finally, I don't want to say taking over the team. I don't think he's fully there yet. We will see really him taking taking the reins of this team in the season. But I'm loving what I'm hearing and from some of the videos that we've seen, how Tua right now is showing that leadership. He's showing consistency, and which is what we want from him. The most frustrating thing for me about Tua is that I see the potential. I know this man can do it. But his extreme inconsistency is what's most frustrating. So I like that right now he's being very consistent. He's throwing some really nice passes. He's anticipating some of it, but we already know he's that type of player anyways. He even at one point told McDaniels like, yeah, let's change some of these plays. The defense is already getting to them. Let's go ahead and work something else out, and I'm gonna discuss that too. Obviously, when it comes to like the run game and all that, but I'm loving it. I want him to be more vocal. Like, show me your football. See if you know what I mean. Like, show him like show us you're the man because you are the man. This is your team, so take over. Like, so I'm very happy to hear that. Very happy about hearing his leadership, hearing how he's showing progression. Again, I told you guys this after the season when we were bringing everybody back, guys. This is the first time in his career within the last 7 years, 8 years, where he'll have continuity in his offense. Second year, same offense. Mike McDaniel's going to be there again. Same offense he already learned from the year before. He should be able to build upon that, and that's what we expect from him. So right now we're seeing that in the offseason, which is what you want to see out of your quarterback. That's a great thing. And you know what? He's going to continue to build that. He's going to continue to show us what he's got. That's what I'm expecting from Tua, and that's what we're hearing from at least so far in the mini camps and in the offseason up to par. So very happy to see that from Tua Tagovailoa. Because again, I mean, well, that's what you want to see from your team leader, if you will. Let's see here. Hey, Bob. Good morning, Bob Young. How you doing? Morning, all. Welcome, buddy. Miss Phins, even Raekwon Davis is looking much improved so far in the new system already, having sacks in practice. Yes, and that's what happens when you have continuity in your scheme, if you will, and you get to build upon from the year before. All the guys are going to benefit from that. We're making an emphasis in offense, which is great, and we're allowing Fangio to do his thing in defense. That's what's going to give us a success. But we need the success in offense. I'm a defensive girl. I'm not worried about defense. Excuse me. But offense, we got to see that. We got to see the continuation. We got to see the consistency there. And that will allow us to be, again, another top 10 team in offense. And that's very exciting, ladies and gentlemen. That's extremely exciting because it shows you we have what it takes to make it happen. Okay? The Jason Curry ones are just working out years. William wants four just for 5 million would be 24 and 25 mil per year. Yeah, these referrals are fun because I was told Tua did that last year. No, not necessarily. Why did I think Williams already signed or resigned? Or is it not final yet? Not yet. Tua can do all that in his practice, but can he really do it in a live game? Yes, he can because we've seen it happen. But like we've seen Tua do it. The problem is he's not consistent doing it. That's all. He's inconsistent. If Tua was if Tua was consistent, oh man. First of all, he'd be helping himself out because he wouldn't be forcing things. He'd allow for plays to develop. If he was what do you call it? If he was more consistent, to be honest with you, we'd be able to be consistent with him too. That's all I gotta say. Let's just say it. So yes, but he can do it because he's done it before. Twice now a vocal leader. It's over for the rest of the AFC now. We must improve this in the game, not just in practice. It's only practice. That is true, Bowleg. That is true. But you want to see it, at least in practice, so that we can continue to see it uh, in the game. Hopefully this helps him to build that consistency we need him to have. Send an invite to Sue to come back, check out new facilities. Don't let him leave. And Donican Sue, nah, I'm good. Bye. Can't stand. One word, or technically two words. $93 million. Never again. I'm not giving that man. If Ndamukong Suh wants to come for vet minimum, and I mean vet minimum, by all means come. But that's the only way he's getting to Miami, in my opinion. You can forget it. $93 million, pretty much fully guaranteed. We paid that man 4 years after he left. I'm so done with Ndamukong Suh. Don't talk to me about him because it's not gonna work out. I can't. Do not. Nope. Unless he's willing to take a literal vet minimum, like no $1 million. Well, I know the vet minimum is more than that, but it's for his position. I have to double check it, but that's the only way that I would be okay with him being here. Period. I had a dream Tua was the man. Hey, sometimes they come true. I agree 1,000%, B. I agree 1,000%. Good morning, Miss Vincent, everyone. Good morning, Clemente. How you doing, buddy? Yes, yes. We gotta make it happen. Good morning, Bud Bone. We one good play caller away from winning the AFC. Amen. I'm telling you, Mudbone, it's happening this year. We just gotta keep Tua needs to keep Tua upright. I'm telling you right now, the O line is not even for Tua no more. It's for the run game. Trust me, Tua knows how to navigate it. Let go of the ball when you need to, sir. If the play's not there, let it go. Throw it out of bounds. Save yourself. Every single time Tua has gotten injured this year, every single time, feel free to go back because I know I did. Tua held onto the ball too long. So don't tell me we need a better O line to give Tua more time because Tua more time has not been working out well for him. Okay? It's really a better O line for the run game. That's what we need the better O line for, not for Tua. I'm over people saying that. Tua knows how to manage the O line. That's the one thing I've said consistently. Tua has consistently improved in his pocket presence every single year, ladies and gentlemen. Every year he's improved upon it. Every single year. That's one of the things I harp all the time. I'm like, thank God. Thank God. Finally. He's actually improving in this one. The only way you do that is by surviving a bad O line, which he's learned how to. The problem is now he's never gotten rid of the ball like he's supposed to, not even in college. He needs to now do it. Period. Period. Keep hitting the like button, guys. Keep hitting the like button. I didn't know it was such a sensitive subject with you. What, Ndamukong Suh? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because Ndamukong Suh is extremely frustrating. The man has talent, plays dirty, whatever. We have Richie. I'm all right with playing dirty. That's not even my problem. My problem is $93 million to for what we got. Not worth it. It didn't equate for me at the time. We could have used a lot of that money for other players that Tannehill could have used. But it is what it is. So I mean, we could talk about it. And trust me, you're gonna hear me talk about it. That's all I gotta say. Good morning, Finland P. How you doing? Good morning, Fins up, buddy. Michelle says feel the same way about Sue, Miss Fins. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's just too much. It's too much money for what we got. We didn't get the bang for our buck. We just, like always, get some old veteran, ridiculously overpay, get minimal output from them, and then they go somewhere else and make it. Literally, everybody else knows that if you want to make money and you're a veteran, Miami's the place to come. You're gonna get like 2, 3 years. You're gonna get a hefty check. You can go out and get another check somewhere else. Yeah, I'm done with it. I'm done with it. That's why not for me. It's not for me. Um. So yeah, so that was a player too. Now I want to talk about another position here that I think is very very important right now. Ladies and gentlemen, our running backs, Oh man, they have been doing really well, guys. Really, really well. You got Mostert, you got Wilson, a chain, you got Gaskins. I'm telling you, our running backs have been doing really well, ladies and gentlemen. Our chain, I already told you guys, it looks like he's solidifying that RB3 position, which is great as a rookie. You want to see that. You want to see the productions. He's been consistent so far. That's a great, great thing. Right now, Wilson, believe it or not, is looking like he's looking like the best running back we got right now, which is great. It's excellent, in my opinion. That's what you want. You want your guys to be the guy. You know what I mean? Um. Yep. So yeah. So far, it's looking pretty good. Running backs are looking pretty good, which is what you want to see. You want to see your running backs proceed. You want to see your running backs get better. And right now, um, 18's looking like he's flourishing. Wilson's looking like he from his little injury or whatever. He's looking good. He's looking good. Speaking of, where is Melvin Ingram? Mm. Well, Melvin Ingram has not been signed back. I'm not sure. I mean, they don't really got him listed anywhere as far as the Dolphins are concerned. We didn't bring him back or even have him practicing right now, so that's the only thing. But we'll see. Now, I knew you guys were gonna bring him up, which is the reason why I want to talk about the running backs right now, and that is Dalvin Cook. If we get Cook, I could see McDaniel taking Ahmed over Wilson Jr. as running back four. Well, I guess I can see that too. Right now, again, Ahmed is doing good too. You know, it is mini camp, so we'll see the guys. We'll see the guys progress. That's the great thing about having depth. That's one thing I can say. We do have depth in the running back core. Do we need Dalvin Cook? In my opinion, absolutely not. We don't need him. But could we use him? Of course. Why not? He got cut. Vikings have to pay most of his contract, which is 22 mil. They got to eat all at that cap this year and a little bit next year. So, I mean, it shouldn't cost us that much, but he's already made it clear that he wants to come to Miami. That's his priority. He's gonna have to work with the contract because obviously we got very limited cap space at the moment. But if we're gonna be honest, hey man, I mean, we don't need him. I mean, people always get mad when I say that, but we don't need Dalvin Cook. He'll be a luxury, an add-on. You know, something we just don't. I don't think we need him. I'd rather put that resource or those resources in a different position, which we're going to talk about next, because I think that's going to be very important. And I don't know if people are focusing on it or not, but we got to do it. We got to do it. And I think, but I am glad to see that the running backs are looking as crisp as they are. And our youngins, aka Jane, he's looking really good. That's what you want, you know. We already spent a draft on him, a draft pick on him. You want him to be uh, pretty really good. Cornerback and wide receiver are awesome depth battles between this year. Yes, yes. So we're gonna get into that in a second here, but I want to talk about another one before I forget because I do think it's very important, and that is, ladies and gentlemen, the O line. The O line has been looking crispy, crispy. Mind you, I understand, yes, they're not playing with Connor Williams, which is never a good thing. As a quarterback, you want to play with the line that you're going to end up having in the year. But at this time, it's just what we've been dealing with. I mean, right now, the O line is looking not too bad. I mean, we got Robert Hunt there, Isaiah Wynn, we got AJ, we got Kendall Lamb. They're not doing too bad. To be honest with you, I'm putting more on the onus on the offensive line coaches at this point. Greer is adamant and stubborn enough to say, "We got what we got, and you better deal with it and figure it out." Essentially, so at this point, they're not looking too bad. Granted, this is no pads. We know this. Um, Realistically, they're not even playing at full speed either. Um, yeah, that's another thing too. Eichenberg, he's been tried at center. Maybe that's why they're not what do you call it? They're not that about Williams, because listen, I'll tell you this, and you see this in regular work too, employees all the time. You may have a really good employee, or you see the potential of an employee being really good, but in their current position, they're just not good. It's not their thing. But you can take that same employee, figure out what they would be good at, place them in that, and have that employee excel like you've never seen before. Guys, keep hitting that like button for us, okay? Let everybody else know we're live. And everybody on Twitter and Twitch, I forgot to say it, man. Thank you so much for coming through, guys. Appreciate you guys. Well, and since I'm there, let me go back here real quick. Kind of say, guys, little rundown again. Hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Keep hitting the like button and subscribe today. Let's get 2,000 subscribers together. Guys, we're only like not even a dozen away from 900. Let's get to 900 first. Let's make that happen. And then we'll get to the 1,000, guys. But it's all because of you guys, because this is our channel and you guys are making it happen. So thank you so much for doing it. Everybody on Twitter and Twitch, again, thank you so much for coming through. As always, we want to go ahead and do the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I can't wait. So let's make it happen, guys. Please keep it clean in the comment sections, the everywhere. Y'all already know. Appreciate each and every single one of you guys. And as I always say, we win together, we lose together. Dolphins for life. No matter how much this team may frustrate me, and there are times where I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. I can't. I'm done. Screw this team. I can't do it no more. Nope, I'm right here the next day, like, hurry up, let's just get through this. Like, I can't. You gotta be crazy to be a Dolphin fan. But I feel like that's any fan of any team, if we're being honest. Just being a fan of a team, period, doesn't even matter the sport. It could be curling at this point, which I actually enjoy curling in the Olympics. So, yo, shout out to the U.S. team, curling team. Uh, but if you're a sports fan, period, no matter what the sport is, there's gonna be a little level of craziness in you, because that's the only way to survive the ups and downs sometimes of our teams, right? Am I right? I'm just saying. But yes, guys, appreciate you guys coming through. You guys are the best. Let's keep it going. So just to go back, yes, the O line, I've heard they've been crispy. They've been doing well. Again, I know no pads. They're not even going full speed. but at least it's a foundation. We're trying out new things, and like I said, I'm this year I'm putting the onus really hard on the online coaches. I need these coaches to step up. They get paid too. They get paid too. So you're in the NFL, sir, ma'am, whomever. You need to do your job. So online coaches, let's make it happen. And right now, they've been doing pretty well. So not too shabby, which is what you want to hear. You know what I mean? That's exactly what you want to hear, and I'm very excited for it because at this point, listen, ladies and gentlemen, we gotta have it. We gotta have it. Hey, good morning, CB83. How you doing? Good morning, Miss Fins. Fins up. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for coming through. Appreciate you. Guys, check out CB83. He's got phenomenal Fins takes with CB83. Great show, great channel, great panel. Trust me, you guys will love to hear what he's got to say. Uh, definitely a standard in the community. That's all I gotta say. If you subscribe to me, you better be subscribed to him too. For sure. Appreciate you coming through, buddy. Look at the Jets. Rodgers didn't want to go to mini camp, so the team had to cancel to save face. Oh, and blame the Hall of Fame game. Oh, I mean, I don't know about all that, but I guess it is what it is at this point. Look at this straggler coming through. Mm-mm-mm. Nah, I'm just kidding. Good morning, color. Ooh. Good morning, Miss Vince. See, you're a little yawning person, made me yawn. I can't believe this. Make sure I don't got no meetings. Oh, we're solid. Yes. Yes. Thank you for coming through, buddy. Thank you for coming through. I might even open it up a little bit. I'm feeling a little frisky today. Mountie Fins, how you doing, buddy? Welcome. Fins up, Miss Fins. Yes. So let's keep it going. Wide receivers, guys. Tyreek. Tyreek is Tyreek. He's doing his thing, doing the dream drills. He's out there doing his stuff. Again, like I told you earlier, he's what do you call it? He got a tweak. So he's not really doing too much, but he's doing enough. And you know what? I'm not even surprised, and I'm not even worried about it. It's Tyreek. It is what it is. I already told you guys this. We gotta just make it happen. Jalen Waddle again coming in from what we saw last year, being solid. A player that I heard finally, thank God, and I'm hoping this kid can make it happen and be really part of the wide receiver core. Is Eric Azukama, guys. Easy E is looking crispy. He's looking like he's finally getting into his own. I mean, he's being signaled out the last both days from the news media and the beat writers. He's been solid, but we saw this last year, man. He murdered training camp in the off season with scholars. I mean, I mean, he destroyed. I was like Tyreek, who like at this point, this kid was just killing it. It's just I don't know what happened. You know what I mean? He just couldn't get on the field. I mean, it hurt. You do have Tyreek and Waddle, so it's kind of hard to put everybody in there. And then Trent Sherfield was good, and so on and so forth. We had some depth in the wide receiver core, thank God. But and we still do. But I'm glad to hear that Eric Azukana is finally showing out. That's what you want to see out of your players. You want to see that out of your rookies. He's coming into his second year. It's solid, man. It's solid. It's solid. And I too, Scotty, I'm loving what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing from it. Easy E, honestly, because if this kid could get it out and make it happen, ooh, listen, he's a big body. People forget. I mean, This kid is a big body, solid as a rock. Color, I love that song. I can't wait when it's feeling. Trust me. Don't get me started. You know certain words and sound solid. They just get me started. But anyways, guys, he's pretty good, man. He's 6'2", 206 pounds. He's solid. He's so young, 23, still developing. I'm telling you right now, if we can go ahead and get him in there and really get him into the rotation, obviously we know we got the 1-2 punch in our speedsters. I'm not even gonna say it 'cause we already know this. Hit the like button, guys. Keep hitting the like button. But if we can get Easy E to also be part of all of this, honestly, at this point, the versatility that Mike McDaniel is going to be able to have in the type of player because he is that 50-50, in my opinion, that 50-50 ball guy. He's like a younger, people may not like it, but DVP, I mean, Devontae Parker, man, he is that 50-50 guy that can get up there and get you the ball. I mean, slipping in between the safety and the corners and just man, I'm loving it. So a healthy DVP, we all know, is a top 10 wide receiver, which he had been. Yes, I get it. He only had 1,000 yard season, but due to injuries, he wasn't able to really do much. But Easy E can definitely surpass him in my opinion with the with with more exposure. All these young guys just gotta get on the field. They've gotta get on the field, and I think he definitely has the potential of being really really effective for us. And hopefully he doesn't come in because of injuries. I hope he does get into the rotation. Has he caught a single in-game pass? Yes, sir. He caught a pass for 3 yards last season. Okay, so yes, so he technically caught. I can see Easy exploiting in the scene his second year as Wes Walker in his position was his position coach. I think he's ready. Yeah, CB. I mean, he's good, man. Absolutely good. Absolutely good. Okay, 1 for 3. I stand corrected. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because he definitely caught it. It's just, again, we got to see it. I honestly think Easy E development was a big reason for Tua's camera as well. Biggest struggle was play verbiage. Now he can listen all off season. Hey, listen, I'm cool with it. Any way to get our guys going. This is one thing. Look, if you're a parent, you're gonna know exactly what I mean. Well, let me put it to you this way: if you're a good parent, because not every parent knows this, if you're a good parent, you're gonna know that not all your kids are the same little human being. They learn different. They deal with discipline different. You can't discipline all your kids the same way. It just doesn't work. Some will respond to certain things, others will respond to other things. If you're a good teacher, you know the same thing. Not all your students are gonna respond one way of teaching. Some students learn one way and others learn the other. As a good teacher, a great teacher, you're gonna know the difference. And you're gonna know how to be able to assist those students or your kids in either discipline or teaching. So at this point, I don't care what the Dolphins have to do. If Eric Ezukanma got to listen to us verbiage all off season to learn and get it's he's going from college to NFL. I don't give a what takes. Do whatever we got to do to get our boys ready. Do it. If we gotta have everybody cammed up, let's get everybody cammed up. I mean, I don't care. As long as our players can learn, get over all the humps and make it happen, I'm for it. I don't care. Good morning, Miss Fans and community. Good morning, Batman. How you doing, Batman? Hey, everybody, go check out obviously Batman from Finsaholic. Definitely, the pillar in the community. That's all I can say. Pillar in the community, and we know this. So let's make it happen, okay? Cause I mean, hello. If you subscribe to me, you better be subscribed to him. That's all I gotta say. Cause nothing but great content all the time, for sure, for sure. Uh, let's see here. So yeah, so that's my take on the wide receivers so far. How they've been doing from these mini camps, which is great. That's what you want to hear. That's what you want to hear. Another one bringing in a couple multiple passes, even a big one from Skyler was David out here, making it happen. I was like, what? Who? What point I was like, like who is that? But yeah, one of the undrafted free agents that we brought in, David Davis. It looks like he caught a nice long one from Skyler the Rocket Thompson. I mean, hey, listen again. I need everybody to shine. I need it all to shine, and I'm for it. Let me finish it out here with Daywood. So he definitely came through, made it happen. Uh, and exactly, Scotty, you just stole the words right out of my mouth, man. You just stole the words right out of my mouth. We know we're gonna carry 6 to 7 wide receivers this offseason. I mean this season. Right now, I think Craycraft, Daywood, it's looking solid. Uh to really push Craycraft out. But again, we know Craycraft started out in the practice squad, ended up getting a contract. But yeah, I I think right now they have a potential. They really do have a potential. Is that who I think that is? Is this El Capitan? Look at that. We got the Phins Tailgate channel in the building. How you doing? How you doing, El Capitan? Hey, Miss Phins, much love. I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for coming through. Much, much, much appreciated for sure. Tua with the guns and stats. Oh yeah, I already talked about Tua already. So want to see that? I got rewind. But yes, definitely good. Let's see here. What's your opinion on the wide receiver room? We're stacked. We should move for a late pick ASAP. What do you mean by late pick? Maybe I read that a little wrong. Living in the wide receiver, we're stacked. We should move for a late pick ASAP. Oh, never mind. Obviously, because we're gonna go all the way through. Win the Super Bowl, baby. Heck yeah, I want to pick 32nd this year or next year. You know what I mean? So yes, I'm all for it, Batman. As far as the wide receiver room, honestly, I'm loving the wide receiver room. Obviously, you got Tyreek one, Waddle 1B. But that's the 1-2 punch, 1 and 2. Then you got Cedric Wilson, which that massive contract, and by massive based on his position and output is massive to us. But at this point, you still got him. We still gotta get some money's worth out of him. We'll see. We also got chosen Robbie Anderson. He don't even know his own name. Braxton Berrios, River Craycraft. So Easy E, obviously, Braylon Sanders, Daywood, like I just mentioned. So we got some good guys. Chris Coleman. We got some good guys. What I like most about our wide receiver room right now is that we're not just top heavy. Obviously, we got the 1 and 2 punch. You know what I mean? But we're not that top heavy. Our meat, our middle. I feel like it's a solid middle. We didn't bring back Trent Sherfield, whom was great addition to the team. But seeing what Robbie can do, what Barry's can do, we already know what Craycraft can do. He's just got to continue to develop, continue to get better. And then with Izukama being how he was last offseason to this offseason, having that consistency, that's always a good thing. I'm actually really happy with our wide receiving core. I am not worried at all. I do know that we should be carrying six like last year, if not seven. As far as wide receivers, the great thing is that the guys that don't make it, we're gonna have solid practice squad players, and that's really what I'm looking for because we're gonna need that. You know what I mean? We're gonna need that. Skylar the Rocket, they give AutoZone manager a nickname now. Stop it, okay? Leave him alone. And I've always called him Skylar the Rocket Thompson, okay? Let's see here. Our team is only as strong as our weakest link, Miss Fins. We need everybody balling out. That is true. But CB, who's our weakest link? What position? What player? Mm. Answer that for me. Uh huh. Good morning, Michael K. How are you doing, buddy? Welcome. Good morning. Uh, absolutely. Shout out to everyone in chat, even Bills fans. I can't with you guys. Could will be a cowboy. Well, hey, you never know. We'll see. Depends on how TC goes. I could be willing to eat Cedric 7 million deck cap. I know Greer is good enough to move him, even if we still eat some of his contract. Yeah, I don't see us carrying seven wide receivers. Six is pushing it. Ooh, it depends. It depends. It definitely depends. As he was for a cover, he didn't pass it. Yeah. Anyways, it's Skylar the Machine Gun Thompson. I'll take that too. I'll take that too. What's up, G? Good morning. Good morning, Miss Fins and Dolphin Chef Fins up. Absolutely. Weakest link is looking like inside linebacker and running back, in my opinion. Whoa, bro. Stop. Pause right there. I gotta pause. You're not gonna tell me running back is our weakest link. You're not gonna do that because that's ridiculous. I will concede inside linebacker, yes, but running back. First of all, I already talked about the running back. A and B. Running back, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Wilson and Mostert have been consistent since last year. To me, they're going to be great this year. If you're just clamoring for Cook because you feel like we really need him, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't think we need Dalvin Cook. It'll be a luxury to have him. Yay, great, but we don't need him. We don't need Dalvin Cook. We got solid guys. A Chain is developing well, and I'm thinking he really is making case for that third running back position. We got Gaskins who started for us 3 years straight, so we know what he can be. And on top of that, we have Ahmed. We're perfectly fine in our running back. I'm not even worried about it. Look at what the running back was able to do last year with the O line that we had, which our O line improved too. Let's not throw them under the bus. They improved. They went from 32 to 22. So yes, no, I won't concede to that. But inside linebacker, sure, I can. Excuse me, I could absolutely go over that. David Long, um, mm, mm, he tweaked a little bit. He tweaked a little. It happens. You know what I mean? But definitely not running backs. No, I can't. I can't. I can't say that with a straight face. Come on, man, get out of here. Get out of here. Now, let me just go overall defense because to me it's a lot. So the overall defense right now, ladies and gentlemen, is looking good. Our D line's looking good. I'm liking what I'm seeing. One thing that I'll tell you this: our cornerback room is looking stout. Those boys are looking stout. doubt. But Howard looks like a new man. At least that's what we're being told. That's what, you know what I'm saying. That's what they're saying. Howard is looking like a new man. Jalen Ramsey's taking over that defense. Cater Cole, who we already know what he can do, he's gonna develop now again, even more in year two. Like this is looking really well. Even Justin Bethel, who came in a few times last year due to injuries that we had, he was looking semi solid last year, and he's building up on that. So absolutely, I'm loving the cornerback room. We already know Trill Williams came from that season-ending injury. He's getting his legs underneath him. He's also working hard. That boy, oh Lord, had we had him, he's looking good. He's looking absolutely good. I'm loving it. We already know what we got with Keon Crossing and getting another one that's good. I get it. The run of the litter. Everybody always wants to crap on. It's Noah Benogany. Guess what? Noah is still developing. He's still a very young player. He should have been drafted essentially this year or the year before, not 3 years or 4 years ago. So, being that he's still young, I expect Vic Fangio to really pull out of him and really develop him. We need to get him developed, period. And I think that he can do it. I think he can. He's shown us some good stuff. He probably just needed the right coach for him. And I think that we do have the right coach for him now. And we should be able to get him developed. But right now, when you got that 1-2 punch again, Jalen and Howard, is hard for young players to come through. But man, yeah. It's looking good. What do you mean, delusional Patriots fan? Carlson and Bethel have been looking good. And guess what? Keon Carlson came in some critical moments when we had some serious injuries in our cornerback room. It was literally the most injured unit we had besides linebackers. So, yes. I'm going to go defense. I'm going to go corners. Our corner room is looking really nice, and I'm very happy about that. Very, very happy about that. Because right now, it just goes to show the depth that we have. Obviously, not everyone is going to make the team. Not everyone's going to make the 53-man roster. But those who don't, they're definitely going into practice squad. I don't know when then came in. Misfits. Noah will start developing in about 2032 as an insurance agent. Ah, please. Whatever. I was talking about my excitement. No need to change my comments. It's a different. Ship a sell. All right. Good morning, ABNB. I see you there. How you doing, buddy? Good morning to you. Guys, say what you will, but Noah, he's got a potential. Everybody told me Tua needs to develop. Everybody told me AJ needs to develop. Noah Benogany needs to develop, and he needs to get playing time to make that happen. It is what it is. Everybody wants to hold on to Tua. I'm gonna hold on to Iggy until he's no longer in the team. It is what it is. Say what you want, but he's got potential. He just needs to be developed. He needs playing time. He needs playing time. And yes, I know it doesn't look good when someone else comes in and they actually start over him. I get that. But he needs to develop. He is too young. He's too young. Good morning, Miss Tua. Really? That's funny. Miss Phins. I like that. I like that. Crossan was only brought into the team for special teams, and when we needed him to step up at safety and corner, he did fine. Thank you. Thank you, El Capitan. Tell him. Like, people forget the injuries that we had in our secondary, man. And it was players like Crossan who came in and saved us. Bethel came in, saved us. You know what I mean? So, yeah, We're good at this point. We are good. And I didn't even mention Nick Needham on purpose. Like, it's no need to. We know what we got with Needham. Like, yeah, we're definitely good. And to be honest with you, I'm loving the depth that we have in our cornerback room. Barring injuries, Lord knock on every wood I can see. We got solid depth. And players are young who are developing. And we have younger players who should continue to develop. And we're going to see that. In my opinion, cornerbacks Ramsey, X, Smith, Kohu, Niddle, Trill. Who are we cutting to keep crossing? Which two do we cut to keep crossing and Bethel? Again, guys, I told you not everybody's going to make the 53-man roster. But they will make the practice squad. I mean, you had Crossing in the practice squad, Bethel too. So it's not like we can't put players in the practice. I'm not putting everybody in the practice squad, but I can see those two if they don't make it to be in the practice squad to use as backup and depth. I mean, that's all I'm saying. Good morning, Luch. How you doing? How you doing, Luch? Welcome, buddy. Good morning, Miss Fins. Good morning, Fins fam. Absolutely, guys. Good morning. So far the defense is looking good. The defense is looking stout. Let's talk about specifically inline uh, linebackers because I know that CB83 brought it up when I was going to talk about him. Um, sorry, excuse me. So I get it. Right now, David Long, he's a little injured. We got Jerome, you know what I mean? We got David Long, we got Tyndall, we got Riley, we got Zeke, we got Garrett Nelson. So far, Garrett Nelson's looking like it's looking like he's doing pretty good. He's putting a name to himself. He's doing pretty good so far for us. He got a couple of call outs from the media, which is a good thing. Um, right now, what we need more than anything at 23, Noah is a puppy. Thank you, G. Sorry, I didn't mean to go so ham when I said that. Thank you, but y'all is like he's a puppy. He got drafted at 19. Do you know how young that is? Playing against big boys, like come on, man. You gotta give the kid, gotta develop. That's all it is. He's our long-term future guy. He's gonna be cheap anyways. But back to our inside linebackers. Right now, so which will Gary Nelson's looking pretty good so far in mini camps, which is a good thing. You know, you want to make a name for yourself. You want to not be in the practice squad. You want to be recognized. Obviously, we already know we got our main guys. People may not like him and may be upset at some of the tackles he makes. Which, trust me, I'm there with you. Jerome Baker is one of the guys. So is Duke Riley. So is um. So is Tyndall at this point and Long. We have players. Channing Tyndall was brought here specifically to be a quarterback hawk, but he just couldn't get on the field. It happens. I don't know how many times. I mean, personally, I've said that I've needed a middle linebacker like a million times for the last 3 years, but yeah, like you you say what you will, but at the end of the day, the one area that I still think we still need more help, besides the O line, which we all know, is our linebacking core. I still feel like we need it. I still feel like we do. And you know what? I don't trust none of these guys. I mean, David Long, great. We brought him in here. Jerome, we already know what we got with Jerome. Mhm. But I don't think Tindo's gonna make. What, AB? You don't think Tindo's gonna make it? He was getting cooked in coverage in college. You never know. You never know. Uh, this was to his first NFL practice. He wasn't the youngest QB on the team. Well, yeah, I guess. Duke Riley is in beast mode this offseason. I love what I'm hearing about him. Yeah, Duke. Well, we don't have. We know what we got with Duke Riley. That's why I don't really have to mention him. But the ones that have been getting called out is Garrett Nelson. He's the main one, which is good. It's good for him, you know. We got Mitchell Agude also getting call outs, being good. Obviously, he's our another linebacker that we got. We have several questions with our linebacking core. Several questions. But at this point, we got to see if we could even move forward with some of these options. Honestly, I mean, look, if we're gonna go all linebackers, we got Phillips, Long, Baker, Chubb. That's your main guys. And for backups, you got AVG, you got Tyndall, Duke Riley, and Malik Reed. So, yay. But I'm dying for depth at this point. I need a solid guy. I'm dying for depth at this point. Uguade played with Phillips at UCLA. That was interesting to hear. Ooh, they could play off each other, which is always a good thing. You know what I mean? Miss Finch, you need, and the TFTD personnel need to educate the viewers. They actually think that Fangio is going to run a 3-4 defense. Oh, listen. Well, first of all, I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much, Mike, okay? I can understand why a lot of people think that, based on, a few things. But at this point, we will see specifically what Fangio is going to be developing. I feel like more towards training camp. We have an idea. I know I could be here in 4-3-3-4. Uh, we're going to hear more in training camp. I feel like solidified more than anything else. No, 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 Batman. Color. What the heck was that? That's funny. That's funny. Tua said he want all the smoke. Sure, hope the smoke stays to the north. We don't want that smoke, Lord. Fins up. Gee, you're too much. I can't. It will be a 4-2-5 90% of the time. Hmm. I mean, I can see that, but again, you guys have to understand. Vic Fangio is not going to be running the exact same thing he ran from before. He already told you he spent literally the entire season not on the team except when he was helping out Eagles in the Super Bowl, really looking at what offenses are doing nowadays because the NFL changes and then finding ways to really counteract that. And at this point, a lot of teams wanted Vic Fangio. A lot of teams. He chose to come to Miami. And even though that was a drag, made me feel like, man, we're screwed if we don't get this man. But yeah, that's right now. There may be some things that seem similar to players. I mean, to fans, but mm, at the end of the day, I really have a feeling that Vic Fangio has a lot up his sleeve. And that's probably why we're bringing in players that can do multiple things and keeping the players that can do multiple things because I see this defense being like Transformers, man. Oof. I can't wait. Uh, I can't wait. I absolutely can't wait, and honestly, it just I'm excited. So overall, ladies and gentlemen, your day two mini camp updates. That's it. I mean, that's what we wanted to focus on. We talked about it. We talked about Tua. We talked about the running backs, wide receivers. We talked about defense. We talked about the Connor Williams holdout. We talked about honestly all of that. So you guys should definitely watch the replay and get all of that right then and there. I'm gonna do something that I don't typically do as much, mostly because I don't really get the time. But today I got some time. Thank God. I don't have a meeting right now, so I'm gonna be dropping the link, guys. If you guys want to come up here, I just have a few minutes. I want to be able to hear from you guys. I miss you guys, talking to you guys. So if you guys want to come through, I appreciate it. I have a few minutes. I can go ahead and have you guys come up here, and we can discuss some of this off season. Yeah, since it's a pass heavy league, that's the reason for the nickel defense. It is definitely a pass heavy league. Hey, baby, you said we better go get Connor Williams. Oh, I get it. Trust me. We know there's four players we gotta. That's another thing we discussed. There's four players we gotta go ahead and resign and extend. Connor Williams, Robert Hunt. We got Zach Zeiler and Christian Wilkins. Christian Wilkins being the biggest guy, which is another reason why I don't think we're gonna get Dalvin Cook, ladies and gentlemen. In my opinion, I don't think we're getting Dalvin Cook. Mm, not really big. Yeah, I don't see it. But then again, some people are gonna say what they say, and we'll see. But personally, yeah, I don't personally see it, in my opinion. So, oh, what's up, Abs? Welcome, buddy. How you doing today? Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's up, gangsters? I didn't hold myself back with expectations for our defense because I think with Fangio and our talent, we could be the best. Have we ever had the number one ranked defense? Yes, we have, actually, multiple times, ladies and gentlemen. And it did not at the end of the season, but throughout the season, every single year when we had what's his name? Flores, we at one point of the season, the Miami Dolphins defense was number one. And that happened opposite from his first year, obviously. Second, third year we had it. The year after that we did. So yeah, we've had at times in the season our defense has been number one. So let's go here. What's up? Oh my god, it's raining, not working. Well, Abs, I appreciate you. Everybody keeps saying Agude looking good. Yes, yes, he has been looking good. That's exactly what I got. So let me see here. How you doing, Mark,
Well,
buddy?
well, good morning, Miss Phins. How are you on this fine Thursday
Oh,
morning?
I'm alive and kicking. Can't complain. Definitely
I
feeling much
just
better.
wanted to. That is good to hear. I hate to see somebody
Mhm.
sick. Just a couple points that
Go
I just
ahead.
wanted to make sure everybody had known. Connor Williams could actually hold out till week 11 and then
Hmm.
come into camp, and then that way he comes in and he can become a walkaway free agent at the end of the year. So that's just one thing. Secondly, another area that, because I believe, like you, that the Dolphins' best defense is a 4-2-5, considering the strength of the roster. And if your defensive line ends up being with Wilkins and Agba at the end, and Raekwon Davis and Seiler at tackle, and then you've got Chubb and Phillips on the outside, and then we go inside with Baker and Long, and then you just play, your top five people in the secondary. That's your best. The problem that I see, not is with the starters, it's with the depth. If you look at defensive tackle, you've got Seiler and you've got Raekwon Davis, who's been kind
Hmm.
of below average ever since his injury in year one. You've got no depth, zero depth.
We got Pelly.
You got Yeah, you have, as I said, you have no
Yeah.
depth. And the same thing, I have great concerns with the linebacking core. So where you're sitting in a position of strength is in the secondary. So It's time now to start exploring the possibility of trading, trading people that you don't need. The problem that I brought up this morning was the mistake that was made in drafting Cam Smith instead of John Michael Schmitz. That would have
Oh,
resolved a lot of the issues that you currently have. You drafted a corner, and for a reason that I really can't figure out, because remember, X and Ramsey are on huge contracts in 2025, so you can't move, or 2024, you can't move off of them. So now you drafted a corner who can probably play. I don't know what his level of play is because he hasn't seen a bullet yet in the NFL. But you drafted a player that, in essence, is a 2025 player as you move off of Xavier in that season
yeah. Yes.
way early, and he didn't bring in the critical piece because Schmitz could play guard and center, which would have because to be honest with you, you can't leave Liam in your starting five. You just can't. He's just a terrible football player. He's got short arms, no functional strength, and is the lowest rated offensive lineman in football. And regardless, that pick would have resolved those issues. And then, of course, I do want to talk to all the fans here that
I mean,
are
I
all
agree
jumping.
with that. Real quick before you go to your next point, I mean, I personally, one of the positions I really was clamoring for was an O line position, but I, I had a feeling we weren't really gonna get somebody that we needed. And the only reason why I got upset at, which I like Cam Smith, it has nothing to do with the player. I like that we picked him up because he's a great player. My only concern is it was already a position where we had strength that
And contracts.
we
And
all I mean
contracts.
didn't really need. And right now, if we're really gonna stick to this whole 2 year window, we don't need somebody for the future. Really, we need somebody for now. And I really wanted us to spend that money. And there are actually two positions, three positions, either a tight end, offensive lineman, or a middle linebacker. And clearly, we didn't do any of those. So yeah,
Well, the other thing is I hear, of course, a lot of clamoring from Dalvin Cook, and my question, like yours, is why? You
we
just
don't need them in
allocated your
my opinion.
you just allocated your third round draft choice on a running back, and you've got four of the running backs in the room. So again, that's not spending money, and it's I do have an issue. I'm a Bills fan, but I like the Dolphins. I want to see
I
them
know
do
you're a
well.
Dolphins fan. You've said it here before. People don't remember this, but we've had this conversation before. You
Yes, we
said
have.
you're a Dolphin fan, so that's why I'm like, guys, he's a Dolphin fan. That's why he knows so much. He's a Dolphin
And
fan.
I look at this and I see a situation here where I'm very, very concerned about just the thought process that says we're okay with the offensive line. We're good where it's at. And it's like I'm looking at this thing, I'm going, this is not good. This is not a good situation. We know Armstead's injury history. He's going to miss 6 or 7 games a year because that's what his history says he is. You have Austin Jackson, who is again an injury concern. Maybe still the potential's there, but we haven't seen the production. You bring in an Isaiah Wynn, who's primarily more of a left tackle and a backup. So an Armstead goes out, you're not in the same situation you were last year. But there's really no hope at guard right now. And Jackson's not,
Oh, left tackle.
and literally you gave away your best left tackle, or excuse me, your best right tackle to be a backup in Buffalo. The backup in Buffalo at right tackle is now better than your starting right tackle, and that's not a good situation.
Yeah, and again, I feel like this is the one area in the unit, or the one unit, if you will, that Chris Greer just really is adamant about the guys he's already picked. He's essentially putting the onus on the coaches, which is why I'm like, at this point, guys, we gotta know our GM. He's putting the onus uh, um on the coaches at this point, because he's essentially telling everybody we're not spending any more money on this O line. Coaches are gonna have to coach up and get this O line ready. Now, from what I hear in minicamp so far, the O line's not doing too bad with Lamb, Jones, Wynn, Hunt, Jackson. But and obviously Teron, he's not gonna be doing any of this offseason.
No,
He's only
and he
gonna
should,
be playing.
and he shouldn't be.
But we don't really need him. We already know what we got with him. He's just gonna be playing.
And the
But
other
my
thing that I'm not
uh,
a, oh, I'm
well
sorry.
before you go, my issue is that at this point it's more of depth than anything else. And we just don't even have the depth either, and that's the part that's frustrating. It's not just not having the starters; we don't even have depth really for us to move
The
forward.
other the other thing I have grave concerns with is the waiting. The waiting is very bothersome to me because you waited. Cam Fleming is back in Denver. You waited. Brandon Shell is now in Buffalo. You're waiting. Now you've actually exacerbated the whole situation to create the kind. Greer's lack of movement on doing restructures has actually now put him in a position where Connor Williams can hold a gun to the organization head. And the moment you cave on
Yeah.
Connor Williams, you're going to have to cave multiple times across the board. And now you're pushing more money across the board. You're just doing more and more damage to your future cap. And everything could have been resolved by doing. You realize, and I know you realize this because you brought it up earlier. You save money by doing restructures and
Hmm.
extensions. And my
Yeah,
God in heaven, you got four guys that I would absolutely keep on this roster with Wilkins and Seiler and
I
Hunt
get it. Trust me.
and Williams. It's like those extensions should have been done. More money could have been brought in. Then you would have had even more money to pursue players that you of in different positions.
I actually think right now, based on Greer and at least Greer's, I think, and I've already said this. I told you guys this. He's gonna save money for the season because we know players get injured. We're gonna have to bring in somebody, at least one or two bodies.
Yeah,
But
teams save
the
5 million a year for that.
restructures, yeah, but the restructures. I think the reason why we haven't really done them yet, which again, Connor Williams is not helping, is because we don't want to show any potential players we can get in the off season that, oh, we have all this extra money and then that person's going to ask for all that extra money. I've seen this before. He did it last off season too. Hey, we don't really have, that's what he uses to negotiate extensions and to negotiate contracts with any new players we bring in. This is one of the schemes he does. It shows them, hey,
Well,
we only
it's
have
not
this
an
amount
and
of
it's
money.
not an effective scheme, as Phins, I'm telling you,
Hey,
because
look, I'm just
what
telling
he
you what
did.
he's done.
No,
So
what he did is he should have signed Wilkins first. But what he ended up doing is he cost himself $2 to $3 million a year more in contract because he let Buffalo set the floor with the Oliver contract.
yeah,
Big mistake, huge mistake.
mm, yeah,
I
that's what
don't
Mike
think he
is
priced
saying.
him out of it.
That
I
Oliver,
don't think Michael's exactly right on that. I don't think he priced him out of a Dolphin uniform. He just raised the contract, and the
he did
Jets are
that.
going to
He
do the hammer
definitely
on
did.
and the Jets are going to do that on the other side in years. Because you got to remember,
Sounds like you.
Wilkins is 28. Wilkins is 28, and what the issue is in with the Jets,
Is it years?
excuse me, is years. So if the Jets cave and they give Williams a 4 year deal, which is what he wants, now Wilkins is going to be in that situation where he's going to probably ask for five because at 28 he wants to carry out because this is going to be his last big contract, and that's why the cost is going to go up. That's why you needed to make the move before anybody else did.
Yeah. Trust me, I get it. I get it, Mark, and I appreciate you coming up here, man. This is a thing that I see, and it's not to Michael's point. It's not that he's lying to the players. All GMs do this. They want to pretend like they don't have money because they don't want to use all their money on one or two players. They want to be able to spread the wealth among players. We already know what we have when it comes to the cap and the contracts that we have coming up with 23, 24, 25. We understand where we are in the cap. We also understand that the cap is going to go up. This is the thing. If you want to sign more players, you want to do the extensions, you have to manage. It's a chess game. You have to manage what you pay out. And because of that, he's not gonna all of a sudden open, and not that I'm saying, but just to exaggerate, $50 million in cap to be, and then have like one player be like, nah, now I want $22 million a year. Like, it's not gonna happen. But at the end of the day, he, I'm not worried about the extensions because this is exactly what he does. and Greer will restructure these players. And if not, then they leave at this point. There's nothing else to say other than that. But I do believe that the restrictions will happen.
No,
Think that he's probably waiting for one other piece. I think there might be a player that maybe we're not considering, and I don't mean Dalvin Cook because everybody's putting him over here. I think there might be another player that we're looking into, another free agent that maybe perhaps we haven't really thought about, and we're probably just waiting it out. And I think we might hear some more in training camp. If that's the case, then I do believe that we may be waiting for that signing so that he can go ahead and do his extensions and then open up even more cap space. F Money, good morning, F Money. How you doing? Cook got released. Yeah, we saw that. Scotty mentioned it earlier. ABAB, we'll see how Cam Smith looks. Cam Smith is looking pretty good, man. He's been looking solid. That's a great thing. They're probably
the
gonna move
and
him
my
from
my, my
next.
last point before you bring up somebody else is that
Go ahead.
another concern that the Dolphins really truly need to have is you've got quality players signing for less money than what they've been offered in Buffalo to win a championship. And that's a situation where you have to get to as a football team where players think you're in a championship window or perceive that you're in a championship window and will take less money to play there. Hence Puna Ford, hence Leonard Floyd. And with the way the organization's being run at this time, is that I don't see players going to Miami other than to get the bag versus I want to go here because we think we can win. And that's something that's a perception that's very, very, very important to change.
Yeah, well, yeah, you know what? That procession has been around for years. This is pre everybody, to be honest with you. So at this point, I'm over it. I don't. Hold up, Mike, because apparently I gotta do this, and I've been waiting. I've been waiting because I love being able to do it. And so hold on one second here. Since I got you here, you're gonna end up having to deal with
Yeah,
it.
love that. That was
Ladies and
nice.
gentlemen, reporting live. It looks like Dalvin Cook has been officially released from the Minnesota uh, Vikings. Reported by Tom Pelissero. Appreciate it. But earlier reported by our very own Epps. 1, 2, 3, 4 Epps. And mentioned that he has been officially released by the Vikings. This is great. Several teams have expressed interest, but they were waiting until him being released. Yes, the Minnesota Vikings are on the hook for $22 million. They will need to pay out that this year plus a little bit more next year as well. So right now he has several destinations that he can go to. As far as destinations, obviously the number one place that he is being touted to or being linked to is the Miami Dolphins for some reason. Don't ask me why, but yes, right now Dalvin Cook he has been released, and Miami is his number one destination. Apparently, ladies and gentlemen, another destination that has been mentioned has been the Patriots, the Buffalo Bills. There were
Not happening.
well, I'm just saying the Patriots, the Buffalo Bills. I know this for another one. The Dallas Cowboys and the Chicago Bears have also been linked to Dalvin Cook. We will see where he ends up going, but those are some of the destinations. So you got your breaking news. Dalvin Cook has been officially released by the Vikings. We'll see where he ends up, but that should be a lot of fun to see. The merry-go-round, if you will, as far as
You know the team that you actually you kind of missed in your review there,
which
the
one.
New York Jets.
I don't think he'll go to the
If
Jets.
Brees Hall is not ready to go with his knee injury last year, um, he could go to the Jets. I see him going to one of three places. I see him going to the Jets, the Cowboys, or the Bengals? Because
Mm,
You got the Joe Mixon legal situation in Cincinnati. You got the backup need for Pollard in Dallas, and you have the Brees Hall situation with the Jets. Chicago signed running backs; they're fine. Buffalo's already said, and Dalvin's already said that he's not interested in going to Buffalo because he doesn't want to interfere with his brother's career. And if Buffalo's going to spend any money, it's going to be on Mike Evans.
yeah. Well, this is the thing. As far as when it comes to Dalvin Cook, we already know he's a phenomenal running back. There's no denying that. As far as when it comes to Cook himself, where he could go, I could totally see him backing up, being that 1-2 punch in the Cowboys, which is why I mentioned him because of Tony Pollard, which I had already told everybody I picked Tony Pollard before Zeke. I was told I was crazy, but who's crazy now? Because I guess the Cowboys realized that too. So I could see him going there. The other real place, I don't see the Jets. I could see why you would say the Jets, but I don't see him going to the Jets. He really is adamant about coming to Miami. He is obviously from Miami. He wants to come home. He if he's willing to say if he's willing to take a team friendly deal, I could see the Dolphins making that move. And maybe perhaps, like I said, literally 5 minutes ago, that before the extensions that the Dolphins are going to be making, I do see them waiting for a particular player. It could be Cook, like I said, might not be Cook, but it could be Cook. Or it could be someone else all entirely that we may not be seeing. But what would this mean for the Dolphins if we were to go ahead and add Dalvin Cook as part of our running game? Then now you have another weapon because a major emphasis this year for Matt McDaniels is the run game. You'd have, I would say honestly, which maybe some people might not agree, but realistically, I think as my bruiser, I'd have Mostert, and then Wilson as my pass catching running back. Dalvin Cook, we already know he can catch. So I would have Mostert and I'd have Cook as my 1-2 punch. Then I'd have Wilson as my third running back. I'd chain as fourth, and I'd keep Gaskins and Ahmed as practice squad to keep that depth. But I just think it's overkill. I don't think we need him, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins to get him. It would have
No, you are so spot on, Miss Fins. It's so unnecessary for and for a couple of reasons.
really team friendly.
Cook is not going to come into a team and not be a co number one. It's just
Well,
not going
that's
to
why I
happen.
say it'd be
He's
him and
also
Mostert.
28 years old, coming off of a shoulder surgery. It's kind of the same reason I hear a lot of the talk in Buffalo with their fans about, oh, we got to sign Hopkins. Why do I want Hopkins? Is there a reason I want a guy who's played 19 out of his last 34 games with diminishing stats, coming off of an injury in 2021 and a PED suspension? No, absolutely not. You don't win in this league with player. A lot of people are just in love with names and are not in love with how the fit is. And you understand that because you're saying the same thing I'm saying. You
Oh,
just invested a third round pick in a guy with 4.32 speed who can catch out of the backfield. That's where your future is.
yeah, I agree. But again, like I said, if they get him, am I gonna be mad? No, but I'm not gonna be upset that we get him if we address other parts of the team. But I just think it's overkill. I think we have the guys that we need in the team. But if we get him, I mean, hey, we get him when we got him. I'm not sure how cool helps
And to be honest with you, if you allocate money, and if this is what Greer is waiting for, the money to sign Dalvin Cook, and bypasses viable offensive line issues, I got a real problem with that.
Well, this is the thing, Mark. To Chris Greer's point, we did go from 32 to 22 with literally bringing back the same guys and just having and obviously
And
adding.
you added Armstead and Williams.
Yeah,
That's a
I was
huge
gonna
add.
say Armstead and Williams essentially were the ones that we brought in. But at, at the end of the day, when you have talent, you're always gonna want talent. I've been a proponent of you can't say no to talent. Talent is talent, period. There's certain things that coaching will help, but there's certain things that talent will overcome. And talent, you will always gonna want talent, which is why I'm like, if we get Cook, we get Cook. Shoot, if we get D Hop, it'd be extreme overkill. But if we get him, we get him. Again, I don't think we need D Hop. I don't think we need Dalvin Cook. To me, it would be just more luxury for the team. But I'm not going to say no to talent when you have players who are talented like D Hop, that Cook, that. And doesn't matter what team they go to, they will be able to help the offense. That's why you
Well,
need players like that.
this
Veteran.
is about this,
There's a
Mr.
difference.
Fitz, this is about snap allocation. Last year, the Dolphins threw 584 times. They ran 390. So when you pick up a player like a Dalvin Cook, that means you're going to increase the percentage of runs, decrease the percentage of passing, and Miami's offense is predicated on the passing game and the explosion. So now you're adding a player and you're losing explosion. I'm not seeing the fit.
Well, this is the thing. Mike McDaniel was brought in for one reason. Well, two. Two. One, to help out Tua. We already know this. And two, to establish the run game. We weren't able to do that last year. And even then, we still were able to be semi decent whenever we did use the running game. This
Mhm.
year, he's made it a point to make the running game a major thing for the team. So, because of that, I can see why we would invest again to go overkill with someone like Dalvin Cook, because it's just going to allow him to open up his run game. And guess what? Every time we open up the run game, it's gonna eventually still help Tua because it brings in everybody. They will have to commit to the run game, and when they commit to the run game and come in, you're gonna have your speedsters on the outside killing them every single time. And then we're gonna use our slot receivers, which AKA Bears is gonna be there for us. And when we have Durham Smythe in line, we'll be able to leak him out into the middle, and he'll be able to catch some catches too. So at the end of the day, this ultimately is going to help out the overall offense. I can see them. It's another person your secondary will have to look at if you bring in
The
Dalvin Cook.
the
I can
the
understand
other
why they
thing
don't want him,
The other
but I
thing
think
that
he's still
has to
pretty
be
good.
considered, and nobody's talking about it, is the offensive line structured to carry an inside the tackle runner? Because last year your best runs were made to the outside. They were not between the tackles. And right now where you're sitting is you you've got a problem at left guard, you've got a problem at right tackle, and it's that problem gets even worse when Armstead misses his number of games that he's going to miss. Is Dalvin Cook a fit in this offense? That's the other thing. We can all look at the name and say, oh, great, Dalvin Cook, and look at his history. But again, you're looking at 28 shoulder history problems coming off an injury last year. Does he fit the offensive scheme?
Well, I mean,
And does he take, and I understand your point about, our defense is going to come up. I don't necessarily think defenses are going to come up and allocate 8 in the box to go stop Dalvin Cook. I
no,
just,
but
I
when you
just
have
don't.
Dalvin Cook, when you have Dalvin Cook and you have Mostert, or you have Cook and you have Wilson, they will have to. They will have to come up, and that's not even adding your Tyreek or your Waddle, or you are essentially you're compressing the defense to have to come up. May not be 8 in the box, but they will have to at least have 7, and they might
Oh,
have to have 7 plus someone else looking out. All of this is going to ultimately help out. It's going to be
I,
a tandem. It's going to be a
yeah.
tennis match between the run game helping out the pass game and vice versa. And because
And
of
I have a dark horse candidate for Dalvin Cook to go, and this makes a lot of sense from a structure standpoint. The Chargers. The Chargers have more money on top of it, and they've got Austin Eckler, who they kind of cajoled into coming back by putting some incentives into his contract. And the Chargers don't have running threat because Eckler is a passing threat and he's a guy that you run on draws and stuff, but they don't have an inside that tackles banger. The Chargers are a viable threat here, and the
Well,
LA market is pretty nice when you compare it to the Miami market. I mean, the tax difference obviously is problematic,
hmm.
but
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we'll see where he ends up going. I wouldn't put it past the Dolphins to. I'll tell you this. I know for a fact we're considering it, and I know that Greer has his people making calls. That I know for a fact because if he's
that's a
not at
given.
least making calls, you're not a good DM. You're not doing your job because you're not at least uh, seeing what would a potential contract could look like
Yeah, if you're
for having
that's a great point. If you were gonna extend the contract out to Cook, what would your number? Do you have an idea of what your numbers might be?
Well, I haven't really dove into the numbers specifically as what we would need. I don't see this being like a super long contract, in my opinion, because we also have to consider he's already getting paid by the Vikings. So the money part, at least, even though he does want to get paid, he's already made that known. One thing we have working for us is A, he wants Miami already. That helps. B, obviously we have all the tax benefits, so it's Miami. Like, what would you not come to South Florida? But more than anything else is how many years. That's really, in my opinion, where it's gonna be holding up. Are we gonna have him maybe for 3 years? Because I could see us doing 3 years. I could see us doing 3 years for Dalvin Cook just to solidify them in this window. But maybe he might want to have to leave.
I've read 3 and 24 million is what I've read. I
So,
don't buy it. I think it's an overpay.
but again, I could see us doing 4 years to make that a smaller hit for us.
Yeah,
So it just
you do
depends.
voidable years is the way they do
Yeah,
it.
of course, but we'll see. At the end of the day, I still think is overkill. I don't think we need him. But I would expect them to check it out to see what kind of content because if he's willing to give us a hometown discount, so why not get the talent? I mean, again, the talent is there. It never hurts to get talent, even as a decoy, because at the end of the day, you're gonna have to account for him. There's no way as a defense you don't account for Dalvin Cook. No matter how great of a defense you may be, you have to have somebody
A knowledgeable
account for
insider yesterday had put out a report and said, when you're looking at teams and you're looking at tiers, you've got Kansas City, Cincinnati, and Buffalo in one tier. Then you've got Baltimore, the Chargers, the Dolphins, and the Jets in that second tier. Uh, so is Cook looking at going to a team that he can win with? And then I have to take a look at the teams that he can win with. Is he gonna go to Kansas City? I don't think they have the money. He's already said he's not going to Buffalo. Cincinnati can afford him, and they have the Mixon issue. The other contenders would be like Philadelphia. Is he going to Philadelphia in their running back situation? Probably not because they got DeAndre Swift. Is he going to San Francisco where they got McCaffrey? Probably not. That's not going to work. Is he going to go to? And that's why Dallas is a big red flag. That's why you said it, and that's why I said it as a contender. If he wants to win, you go to those teams. If he wants his best Super Bowl shot, and then you start taking a look at some of the teams that are dropped
See,
into
hold
another
up.
tier.
No, pause, pause, pause. I'm not going just gonna let you drive by that one and not even mention the Dolphins because although you are a Dolphin fan and you are obviously primarily a Bills fan, the Miami Dolphins, the way that we're set up with again, knock on wood, knocking on every wood, we have a team that is a Super Bowl contender. That
I didn't say you're not. I said you're a tier. I said you're not looked at as being a top tier contender. There's tiers in the
well,
league.
I get that. I'm like, we definitely are up there as a Super Bowl contending team. And guess what? We're more than likely this division. It's gonna go to the Dolphins. The Jets are gonna fight for it, but the rain that the Bills had, and I'm not trying to be a homer or anything like that, but this is no longer the Bills division to lose. Like this division is open for business, and right
I
now
agree.
the
I
Jets
totally
and
agree.
the Dolphins, they're serious about winning this division. I'm not saying y'all won't make the playoffs because you absolutely make it as a wild card. But at the end of the day, this division is wide open. All three teams, Patriots are dead last. Let's not even lie. All three teams are like, and listen, even my dad and I have this conversation. Patriots are just, they're tanking. Let's just put it that way. All three teams between the Jets, the Bills, and the Dolphins are up. And guess what? We're not even that far off. If I have to rank it, and this is not being biased at all, I'm putting Dolphins first, and I'm only giving the Bills second because you do have Josh Allen. A, because B, because you do have continuity in your offense, and that's very important. And then barely behind you guys, I put the Jets, and then obviously Patriots are last. But right now, based on all the moves that I've seen, yeah, this is the division the Dolphins to lose. At this point, I'd have to give it to the Dolphins based on all the moves, based on the scheduling, based on what I'm seeing so far. Dolphins to me are number one, Bills number two, Jets are barely 2B. Put them 2B, and then like the Patriots are like F. Like this, they're just like
Yeah,
way.
you bring up scheduling, which is actually quite interesting the way it's laid out. Uh, the nature of Buffalo's schedule is they have that opener at the Jets opening day, then they have a 7 game run, which is pretty advantageous. Then the second half of their season is much more difficult. The Dolphins have like 4 out of the last 6 games at home, but they have those 2 games with the Jets.
But
You
that
know,
always happens to us.
after
We're
yeah, it's
used to
just
it.
kind of
That's the thing.
no. I mean, it's just the way the scheduling plays out
We're
because
we're, we're used
you
to
guys open
that.
up in Los Angeles against a tough Charger team, then you have to go to New England and they're going to do the Tom Brady night for God's sakes. Then you got a game against Denver, which you should win. You have to go into Buffalo right after that. Then you got 2 games that are very winnable at home against the
Listen,
Giants and the Panthers.
win,
Then
win,
you got to
win.
go
I
to
got 3 wins
Philadelphia.
right there. I got 3 wins.
So,
Like
yeah,
right
so
then
then
and
you
there
go
is
to the
three
then
wins.
you go to Philadelphia, and that's a fourth loss. I think you come home after that, and
Fourth
it's a very
loss. Why are
winnable
you
game
talking about
after
fourth
that.
loss, bro? Mark,
You're
Mark.
not gonna. I don't think any of the
We're
AFC
beating the
teams, AFC
Chargers.
East teams, are going to go into. Are going to go into
First
Philadelphia
of all, we're
and
sweeping
beat the
the
Eagles.
Patriots. We're sweeping the Jets. We'll split with you guys, and I'm trying to be nice. The only game I give you guys winning is the game at home, which is that first game in October 1st. And even then, I'm trying to be nice and give you guys that game. Because to be honest with you, Mark, excuse me. Hold on.
Take care.
Sorry, thank you for that.
No problem.
This is the thing. That gap there was a massive gap. I'm not even gonna lie. There was a massive gap between the Bills where they were and the Dolphins where they were. Dolphins closed that gap. Closed that gap 100%. So right now, listen, we can sweep you guys. And this is not me being a homer at all. I'm going based on what we've done last year, the move that we've made, and again the way this schedule is set up. I give you October 1st being the one game you guys could probably take from us. I see the Dolphins going 5-1, 4-2 at least, 5-1 being what we're gonna end up doing. You guys are not a threat anymore to the Dolphins at all, and because of that, win against the versus the Chargers. When I go to New England and their Tom Brady night, just like he loves to play versus the Dolphins, which he doesn't obviously, we're gonna beat them there too. We're gonna come back home. Home opener versus the Broncos. Sean Payton, congratulations. You're taking an L week 3. Then we got Buffalo. Yeah, I really do see us taking that game from you guys. Then we come back home. We got New York Giants, please. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's my second team, and I can't wait to see that game. And I love New York, but yeah, we're beating them. Let me not even talk about Carolina. It's another win. Philly will probably be the first game where we take a loss. That's what? That's week 7. We're 6-1 at that point. Come back home to play versus the Patriots. We're winning that. Now we're 7-1. The Kansas City game only because it's in Germany. Not because it's Kansas City, but only because we just don't do well in overseas games. I'm giving them the game. Whatever. We are what, 7-2 at
Seven
this
and two.
point, and we got the bye week. Come home to Las Vegas. Las Vegas literally doesn't know what they're doing. Even though I'm not gonna lie to you, Jimmy G looks great in all black. That's all I'm saying. Devontae Adams already is like over the team, and they barely got into the off season. The Jets, we already know that the Jets are going to be a difficult team because of their defense. I'm not even going to pretend like they're not. They finally got a quarterback that can do something with that team. But again, it's the Jets, prime time. This is Black Friday. I totally see the Dolphins. Oh, wait, this is a MetLife takeover. We shine in prime time. I see the Dolphins taking this game. But you know what? Let me not be a super homer. Let's give them that game. Fine. We're what? We're
Nine and that'd be 8 and 3.
8-3. Is it eight and
Eight
three?
and three. Yeah, no, yeah, I think that's 8 and 3.
Yeah, 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 because it's 11 game. We got the bye week at week 10. 8-3. We go to Washington. That's a win. That's 9-3. Tennessee comes home. Tannehill, welcome back, buddy. You're getting destroyed. What is that? 10-3. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got the Jets at home. That's a
11
W.
and 3. Okay.
That's 11-3. Come home to Dallas. Now this one, this I'm not gonna lie to you. This game is a toss up for me. And the only reason why I say it's a toss up for me, not even because of Dak, if I'm gonna be honest with you, it's the defense. This defense is a legitimate defense, and I'm like, ugh, I don't know how I feel about this defense. Only because of the defense that I would say like, it's gonna be rough. This is going to be a tough game. This is probably going to be the toughest defense we'll face all season long. And it is a Christmas Eve game, which sucks. But we're going to be at home. I don't trust the Cowboys offense more than I trust their defense. I trust our offense I trust our defense to really take care of their offense. And I think our offense will be able to do enough to win that game. So I'm gonna give it to us. That's 12-3. Then we go up to Baltimore, and as much as I want to say, yeah, we got that game, no, that's a loss. I I just don't see us beating them. And what is that? 12-4. And then we come back home. It's either gonna be the 6th or the 7th, because we've already talked about this. It's gonna be flexed at the end of the day. So whichever day we play Buffalo at home, we're taking that game, putting in the Dolphins at 13-4. That's where I'm seeing the game. This is, and I'm not trying to be biased or anything like that. This is based on the opponents that we have, based on the team that we've got, and based on how the schedule is set up. It's not going to be an easy schedule. We got the second hardest schedule right now, if I'm not mistaken. Uh,
Yes, I just because of the Buffalo component.
yeah,
That's why.
we got the second hardest schedule in the NFL right now, but it honestly it's because of the start and the finish because they already know that's what they always do to us. At
Can
the
we
end
do
of
the
the
Buffalo
day,
schedule and then we'll see where we match up for the last game?
well,
I see us
that's fine.
losing opening day to the
Have the
Jets. I
schedule
see us
right
losing
now.
opening day to the Jets. Yeah, I see us losing opening day to the Jets in a tight game.
You're
I just
losing
think
to the Jets. Oh,
I
I
see
didn't
them
see
losing
that.
that opening game to the Jets. Yeah, then I
Well, I
see them
was gonna
sweeping
pick Jets.
the next 7 games because they've got Las Vegas. Then they have
We got Vegas.
my
We got
gosh,
the Commanders.
they'll beat the Commanders. They'll win the home game against Miami. Then I think they go off to London to play
That's
in
what you think. You
Jacksonville,
got London. You got Jacksonville. I'm giving you an L for
and
that.
then
There's
they
no way.
and no, they'll beat Jacksonville in London. Jacksonville has no secondary, and they've got problems in their
All right,
offensive line.
go ahead.
Uh, and then I think
Giants.
they come home then to get I think they come home to get the Patriots. Then
Nope.
they
Then you play
have
Giants first. You
oh
got
they play okay
Giants
they
at
play the
home.
Giants at home.
Then you
Then they
play the
go and
Patriots
they play
away.
the Patriots, who I think they're going to beat, and then they're going to play Tampa,
And then at
who is
home, you
way
got
down this
Tampa.
year. So now they're what, 7-1.
Yes.
Okay, 7-1. Then they're
Cincinnati,
going to
you're
go to
taking an
Then they're
L.
going to go to Cincinnati. I think they're going to split Cincinnati and Kansas City. They're going to lose in Philadelphia, so that's three losses.
You
They'll
got
win
the
the home. They'll
Broncos
win the
next.
home. They'll get the home. Yeah, they'll win the game against the Broncos. They'll win the home game against the Jets. They'll win the home game against the Patriots.
No, not
I think that
Patriots.
I think they
Not
probably
Patriots.
lose in. I think they probably
Philadelphia's
lose in Los
next. You're
Angeles.
losing to
Yeah,
Philadelphia.
they're losing. We're going to lose to Philadelphia. That's where I penciled that in.
Kansas
I'm
City.
just kind of scanning. We're gonna split the Kansas City and Cincinnati games. We're going to win one and lose one. I don't know how it's going to play out. And then I see them beating. Then I see them going in and losing in Los Angeles to the Chargers. And I see them
Okay, what
coming
about
into
the
that last
Cowboys?
game. I think they beat the Cowboys in Buffalo.
Okay,
And I
but
just
then you got New England,
I
and then
see
you
them.
got the Dolphins.
Then they get to New England, so they're 12-4. I can see a scenario where both teams go into that last game 12-4. It
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense the way the schedule plays out that they both teams could go in at 12-4. And you're saying that game's going to get flexed. You bet your tail it's going to get flexed.
I mean, I guess at home for us. So
I think that would be fabulous, wouldn't it?
that would be great. But
12
I'm
and
gonna be
4 or
honest here.
12
I
and
got you
4,
guys going 12-5.
playing for the division and number one seed.
I
Yeah,
got
we're
y'all
pretty
going
close. Yeah,
twelve
if
and
we lose, we're
five.
12-5, and you guys win 13-4.
I got you guys
We're
going
pretty much
12 and
spot on.
5. What's a color come, my friend? How you doing, buddy?
Oh, good morning, Miss Phins. I could not, in good faith, let this travesty continue. Um, uh, look, as many people that want to call out Dolphin fans for various different reasons, we can, how can we let Miss Phins be up here with nothing but a Bills fan for all this time? Come on, people. It ain't no wonder that Noob, puts you all, in these memes and all that. You notice who has never been put in one of level two Noob's memes as being accused of being a Buffalo fan? Color hasn't. You know why? Because Color does stuff like this, man. Y'all cannot let this man sit up here as her only panelist, man. That is a travesty, and I just had to correct it.
I appreciate your color. Thank you. Thank you for coming through. I really do appreciate it. Hey man, which I was gonna talk that I was like yesterday, but y'all talked for so long I couldn't even. I wanted to go ahead. We gotta talk, man, because I want you to come in once a week for the morning show. Once training camp comes, that's when I start Monday through Friday. So you gotta come in the morning, and then we gotta do our night show. Our league wide
Oh,
Wednesdays
definitely,
again.
yeah, definitely. I know
Um,
we've been kind of circling around each other
yeah,
for the
it's
past
just
month or
man,
two, but
I've been
yeah, I'm
so sick,
just
man. It's been
when
yeah.
we're ready to actually move on it, I'll definitely be ready for Wednesday night. If
I
that's the
appreciate.
same night you're going to be doing it again, that's cool. Whatever night.
Yeah,
But
I like the Wednesday nights. It splits the week, but you know
mm,
what, Mark? Well, I guess Mark. Bye, Mark. Thank you for coming through, Mark. I appreciate it.
did
But
he run from me? Did he just run from me? Is that what he just did?
oh, I don't
Wow.
know. But it just it disconnected, so I guess. But you
even
know
if he
what?
didn't, even if he didn't, I'm going to take the opportunity to say he did.
Of course you are. Well, listen, it's funny enough because I was like, this team is ready now. Going to your schedule prediction. To be honest with you, because I'm like, I don't see this. I'm no longer scared of the Patriots because let's be real. I mean, not the Patriots. Sorry, of the Bills because we closed the gap. I don't.
Oh
I,
yeah.
we closed the gap. They're no longer the big bad wolf. We already taken over, which is why for me, I'm like, listen, we could sweep everybody. And I could see us going 5-1, and that one loss maybe be a split to. Actually, one loss might actually end up being the Jets and not the Bills. We could sweep. We're sweeping Patriots,
Well, again, I'm going to
but
say the same thing that I've maintained all last season, all last off season. The Bills, their entire shebang is predicated on the health of Josh Allen's legs.
1,000%,
Because
thousand percent.
no more could you see it in my show yesterday when I did the top producing wide receivers in the league
Yes,
last year.
great show, guys. If you guys didn't see it, yesterday's show was phenomenal. You had the top 42. based on overall ranks, which I loved. So
Right. Well, I listed the top 25, but I did mention who did, fall into the pool, up to 42 because there was only 42 receivers in the league last year that got 60 or more receptions. Believe it or not, only
yeah,
42. And Gabe Davis wasn't one of them.
wow, that's
So
right. That's right.
he didn't even make. I mean, he likely look. I'm going to be fair here, because the purpose I had to make a cutoff somewhere, and the list was about production. So I put the cutoff of what I value as a production out of a wide receiver at 60 receptions because you had some really, really, um, um, bottom of the barrel names
Yeah,
that got 60 receptions. So why is it fair to say they weren't productive when they're catching the ball more than a guy that might have done more with the ball but only got 40 receptions? So it is what it is. And there was some names left out that, for instance, Gabe Davis, take for example. If I would have factored him in anyway with the other criteria, the other categories that I used, he likely would have made up the difference and made it somewhere in that top 42. You see what I'm saying?
yep,
But the fact that he couldn't even be considered based on my criteria, which was not unfair, not unreasonable,
not at all.
and we've got two wide receivers that landed in the top 10 in production last year based on my criteria. Okay, which I believe is fair and I believe was comprehensive. And
It
people
was.
could argue with it, but whatever. It is what it is. It's no less or more comprehensive than any other ranking that somebody
Yeah,
puts
like
out.
PFF or
Yeah, when
PPF or whatever.
right.
Yeah.
I agree that the framework is subjective, but once I agreed for myself on the framework, inside that framework, you can make objective assessments about receivers and who they play for and their circumstance and all that stuff. For instance, DeAndre Hopkins, despite only playing 9 games last year, was
Was
in
getting
that top
22.
42 and
Yep.
got factored in with my algorithm because he got over 60 receptions.
And had he actually ended up playing, that man would have had easily 1,200 plus yards.
Right. Now, granted, Cooper Kupp is far more productive a wide receiver in that same scenario than D-Hop. Now, you could argue it's because of his team, the way they force feed him the ball, this and that and the other. Sure, I get that.
Hmm.
My point is, Cooper Kupp landed 16th.
And missed half the season, which is
He made
insane.
it into the top 25 and only
Which is
played 9 games.
insane.
But my point about D-Hop is, you can say whatever. We all know he has great hands. We all know he's not probably the most model citizen right now in the NFL. I get Mark's concern there. You know what I mean? But when you talk about raw production, this guy didn't even play 9. This guy played 9 games, and I'm just imagining a scenario, where you've got. I mean, look, you're either going to get Josh Allen running for 700 yards, or you're going to get another receiver to take that load off. Because the
Or a
reason,
running back at this point.
right? Well, because I believe that the reason that Buffalo didn't have two of their wide receivers in the top 42, despite Josh Allen being Josh Allen, is because, and I don't look, Diggs made it to third, but Tyreek Hill made it to second. That didn't preclude Waddle from making it to 10th. And we're
Yeah.
talking about with Tua. We're not talking about with Josh Allen. You know what I mean? So Josh Allen either needs to decide for himself how he wants to play and what he wants to be, because if he's not going to utilize any of the other receivers they got, rather than rushing for 700 yards for him by himself, then no, you don't need D-Hop. But there again, if you want to stop running your train through Josh Allen's legs, then it would be highly advisable to put a guy like D-Hop on the field with Stephon Diggs.
Because you're only gonna get that the extra eyes on him. You know what I mean? Which is what you need.
Right.
You
Because
need to get
even
that
if
on the
D-Hop
field,
is
but
diminished, even if he's diminished
you gotta
physically,
put a body on
he's
him.
still right.
You
He's still going to run routes better than Gabe Davis. He's still going to catch the ball
Facts.
better than Gabe Davis.
He doesn't
You know what
drop
I mean?
balls like Gabe Davis. So
and go back to last season or that no, I don't know if it was last season or the season before, but with the game where Gabe Davis had 4 touchdowns and that big old performance, 200 yards. I'm not saying D Hop would have got some of that. What I'm saying is, imagine if D Hop was also on the field that night.
oh, he would have. I mean,
I mean,
probably would have had more touchdowns at this point.
and I could also say, well, do you think 13 seconds even is a possibility if Buffalo had an extra receiver to the caliber of a D Hop?
Buffalo would have won the Super Bowl, in my opinion, and they had somebody like D
I
Hop.
mean, and I know it's hard to say that one player makes that much of a difference, but
But
in
they
their
do on the
scenario,
in
when
their
they're running everything through Josh Allen's legs, it does matter. You know what I mean?
100%, and you are extra factual, sir. And that's the thing. People don't pay attention to those subtle changes, I feel like sometimes. Now, I hope people understand when I say I don't think we need D Hop and I don't think we need Cook. But that doesn't mean I won't take them. And you can't deny the talent. The talent is
Well,
there.
you could
They've
almost
always
say
been
we're in
out.
the same situation with Cook.
Exactly. It's the
No, we
exact same
don't need him, but there's other things that we'd rather not have to do that would be cured if we had a Dalvin Cook. You know what I mean? Sure.
Exactly. But, at the end of the day, it's not going to take you're not going to deny talent. Which is what I was saying earlier, like I don't think we've done the extensions on purpose. Greer is looking
Right,
out for
right,
one other person, in my opinion, maybe one or two other players that perhaps you don't want to show all your cards. He knows what he
right,
can technically get and open up if once he gets all
right,
these extensions done, but he's not going to show that because no
right,
GM does, because you're not going to have one player pigeonhole themselves into taking your whole amount of money, and he's going to take money into the season too, which is why I say it could be D Hop, it could be Cook, it could be one of these other players that maybe even somebody that we haven't even thought about that they could be looking
Oh,
into.
sure, sure.
And to really solidify, let's say, the middle linebacking core or even the O line. Maybe you and I haven't thought about it. Maybe they're looking into it. But at the end of the day,
Yeah, oh yeah, that's ultimately that they could be on a completely
yeah,
different program than
I
everybody thinks they're on
do
for all we
believe
know.
I do
but
believe that's
but
what we're
to,
waiting
to
for.
to complete the analogy of the running back with D Hop and all that, we rushed. I mean, and I know in today's league it probably is not. It's considered mid, but we rushed for 99 yards per game last year, right?
Hmm.
And based on the talent on our passing game, we don't really need to rush for much more than that. We just need to be able to rush when we need to, like situationally, right?
Third
But now
down,
you're talking about,
fourth down.
so imagine that the idea of rushing for 99 yards by the Dolphins is the same as the Gabe Davis performance,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
And as I had said, add D Hop to that the game with that performance, or add him to their team. It would be the same here. We rush for 99 yards. We can rush the ball. Maybe we need to get better at it situationally.
We'll probably do
But
120.
a Dalvin Cook is not. That's not going to be the cure all for that. You understand what I'm saying? If we're getting 99 yards and you add a Dalvin Cook,
Maybe
I
you're getting
mean,
120 a game, 130 a
exactly.
game,
And you're
150
talking
a game.
about
I mean, we're going to
overall
be honest.
production should produce more touchdowns, should produce more one or two more wins. You see what
Like,
I'm saying? It's
like,
all
like,
math in that regard.
like I was saying with Mark earlier, it's like, listen, I don't understand why we would want to get Cook because it's another body. They may not drop 8 in the box, they could have 7 plus, which is 7-1, which is what I like to call it, where it's 7, but you still got that one lurking because of that extra
Right.
player. And when you got Waddle, Tyreek on the outside, and you got, let's say, just because he's a rookie, I'm gonna throw him in there. You got 18 in the backfield, and maybe you have Cook on the line or something like. You don't even know where that ball is gonna go. I don't give a crap what you may think.
Exactly.
So at this point, if you're a defense, you're screwed. Because if you collapse, you got the outside that's gonna be wide open for Tua. We already know he can sling the rock. And then if you don't and you bail out to the outside, one of these running backs is going to leak in between that line and go through the gap. and dash you for 20, 30 yards.
Right.
So
It allows you to
the
dictate the
flexibility,
matchups. Right.
exactly.
It allows you to dictate the matchups, and matchups are where it's all at. Like it does, uh, again, and it also has to do with when a defense is game planning, in a given play, it's night and day different when they see a guy that they know league wide is like, okay, this is just a mid player. But when you got a guy that at every position where it's like, okay, every single person they have at a skill position could take it to the house at a moment's notice. I mean, that's in reality what we
Exactly.
got. And you're adding Dalvin Cook to that. That's the same scenario. This guy could literally take it to the house every single time he touches the football. And it seems like
How
we've
are you
got an
gonna
entire
defend that?
roster full of guys like that.
And I think that's the whole point and scenario of what McDaniel is doing. The emphasis clearly this year is the running game, which is why I can see them going for a guy like Cook to add on to that line. But even if we don't add him, we got 4.8 out of our boys last year with an offensive line that was questionable. A and B, and
Right.
let's
And we
be
both
honest,
know,
they
and Miss
still
Vince, real quick,
they
sorry to interrupt,
go
to
ahead.
add to your point about that, about the yards per carry. And remember how many times last year where we saw both Wilson and Mostert be a finger grab away from breaking it to the house.
Oh my God.
I mean, several
And
times last year.
And this is the thing, and I know that they're not necessarily, which Mark was saying, they're more outside running backs, but between the lines, look at what Moster was able to do, which is why I call him more of our, not necessarily like our bruiser type running back, but he can get cut in between that A gap
Right.
or B gap and get in
Well, of
and
course,
make
because
many plays.
Mostert, and don't let Mark fool
He's a
you.
big body.
He's not Mark's not dumb, but he's missing the mark on Mostert, I think. Mostert is a stand-up, patient zone runner. He's going to sit there and tippy toe until that opens up, and when it does, he hits
Kind
it
of like
hard.
Le'Veon,
Exactly like Le'Veon Bell. I've said that several times over the past few months.
which helps out. Guess what that helps out more than anything else? Our O line, because the O line is obviously gonna wherever the play goes, obviously, and whichever guy they end up opening up for him. By him being able to be that half second hesitant, he has the eyes to see that gap and attack it. And when you got a player as fast as this man, who come on, he's a 4.2, going in that gap and cutting through. I mean, what are you gonna do at that point? You don't have the speed to catch him really, unless you already have the right angle. But you screwed if we fake and if we fake for the run and throw it, and you come up to try to take that run game and try to seal that gap. You got Waddle that you got to deal with on the outside. You got Tyreek on the other side that you got to deal with. This is the type of offense which McDaniel, you can see he's setting up. We laid the foundation last year, but this year he is really putting in the pedal to the metal in that run game because he knows if if and when he does, which we saw a glimpse of it last year, we didn't even use it the whole time. Get this run game going. You get that 1-2 punch, that balanced offense. There's no defense out there except our own defense that could really stop this. And I don't give a crap about the Chargers, no matter what they're going to want to do, or the 49ers with what they were able to do. How you saw that instead of pressing, they laid back for 7 yards. I don't even think that's going to be effective for what we're doing. What we're gonna be doing, because even if they come up and press Waddle and Hill, you still gotta deal with the run game. And when you got a consistent run game going, like what we have, what are you gonna do at that point? That's the
And you know what
problem.
I've noticed too, Ms. Fins, is Mike McDaniel seems to. I know a lot of us think that our running back room is a bunch of the same guy, but it's really not. We have a variety of styles of runner. As I pointed out with comparing Mostert to Le'Veon Bell. I would compare Jeff Wilson to a guy like Frank Gore. And I would, and then you got a guy like Chain. You can comp him to some other. My point is, it allows Mike McDaniel to say, okay, and then by the way, you also pepper that in with Gaskin, an outside zone runner, you
Yep.
know, and you got a situation where Mike McDaniel could literally implement any type of run scheme he wants, whether it's inside zone, outside zone, up the middle, bruiser, off tackle, high formation, whatever he wants to do, because we've got that whatever style of running back we need for that situation.
And that's a great thing because we have, and this is the two places where I feel like we have the depth. We don't just have the players, uh, our starters. We also have the depth, and if for the offense, and that is our wide receiving core and our running back core. Those two right there, teams wish they had the type of depth that we have because it's not just our starters being so elite, it's the fact that we have starters as backups. Because let's not lie. I mean, we have players that could start in other teams as our backups. You
Sure,
know what I
sure.
mean?
And that's because, like I said, we're diversifying the style of runner. So we're getting RB1, maybe RB2 at every position, but of every type of running back. So when you talk about depth, when we all talk about depth, the first thing we think of naturally is, a backup player for that player that's good enough to maintain, right? We think of depth as next guy up and all that, right? Which is, what depth really means. But there's also something to be said for schematic depth, where you're not limited to just doing this one style of thing because you've only got one type of running back and you've got five of that same type of running back. You see what I'm
Okay,
saying? So now I'm
color.
talking about play calling depth, where,
I see you,
let me
Coach
give you an
McCullough.
example. Well, let me give you an example. Last year when we played the Jets the first time, we were running the ball against them fairly well the whole game. And there was one series where we kind of did the whole, zone running thing, here and there, got it all staged. And then they just ran a quick off tackle to Gaskin, and he takes the edge and flips it out for like 15 yards. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what? And you kind of nailed it with not just being just having depth, period. It's having that flexibility, depth that you just mentioned. Those different style of players that we have, especially running backs, they will that playbook that McDaniel has and the plays that he's come up with. And you guys realize that this is very similar to the Niners in the sense of you don't need this like number one quarterback to run this offense. You don't. And you know what? It also takes away the pressure, not just from the quarterback, but it also takes the pressure of the health aspect of the quarterback. You know what I mean? When you're so highly like the Bills, depending on your quarterback having to do multiple things, you're not gonna be you're gonna put yourself in a risk, just like the Bills are right now with their quarterback. With this type of offense, our quarterback is gonna not have to worry about really being put in situations where we're gonna have to solely depend on him. Although he will need to at points do that, but not all the time. You see what I mean? Which takes
Right.
his play and his health and gives it longevity in that sense. I don't, but I'm telling you right now, I really do think that the way this offense is being set up, Mike McDaniel is showing you right then and there, ladies and gentlemen, that not only do we have what we need, the pieces that we do end up adding, which I'm telling you right now, I have this feeling that 1-2 player that we're probably waiting on, that he's probably waiting on, that's really what's gonna be the difference, I would say, in us playing against the teams that we're gonna be coming up against. Because come on, man, You can't tell me right now, based on what we're seeing in this schedule, I'm not afraid of the Chargers because they may have seen this parts of this offense, but they're not gonna see this brand new offense.
Well,
They
to
may
their
have seen some
credit,
part of this defense.
if I go back to the wide receiver list, Miss Fins, to
Hmm.
their credit, they actually had three receivers that ended up getting factored in because they had three receivers with over 60 receptions. Um, but none of them made it higher than 25. You had Keenan Allen came in, rounded out the list at the top 25. He was 25th. Mike Williams was 27th, and Josh Palmer came in somewhere, I don't know, high 20s or whatever. But so they're spreading the ball around, but none of them are really producing as much as, again, our two guys that are in the top 10. You know,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
then
I
there could be
totally
something to
agree.
be said for it, and I've heard Mark's pushback in particular. Well, that means you guys don't use your third and fourth at all. Well, I didn't look at the actual numbers. They could have been in the 40 range of receptions. I have to go back and look, but just because they didn't make it to 60 and we only had two guys that did, doesn't excuse Buffalo for only having one guy with 60 plus receptions. Especially when you're talking about the next John Elway, as Josh Allen is the next John Elway likes to model himself or herself. I mean, you know that one guy that is in the chat all the time,
Yeah,
Josh
yeah,
Allen
I've
is the
seen
next
him
Elway.
before.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure Elway would have had two receivers with 60 plus receptions.
But I mean, now you're talking about Elway. Like, that's not even fair at this point. You know what I mean? Like, you can't even say that.
Right now the comeback to me on that is, well, if Diggs landed number 3, well, why do you? No wonder nobody else got 60 receptions. But that didn't stop Waddle from getting his 60 because Tyreek was number 2.
Well, you know what it is? It didn't, because we made it an emphasis not to. That's the thing. We made it an emphasis not to. So it automatically helped out Waddle by us being so Tyreek heavy, because then everybody had to go over to Tyreek, and then
Right.
Waddle was able to be open up for us.
Right, Miss Fins. But Tyreek still had enough receptions and production to land number 2 on the list, even though, like you suggest, they would have had to focus on him, leaving Waddle to get his 60 and land on 10th. That's a fair statement if, let's say, Waddle landed 25th or something. You know what I mean? But we're talking about 10th. You know what I mean? Our second receiver. You know, and they don't even have a receiver in consideration with 60 receptions beyond Stephon Diggs.
Exactly. No, you are 1,000%
I
right,
mean,
which is
forgive
what
me
I
if I
love
don't
about
fear the
him.
Bills. You know what I mean?
No, I don't. Which is why I was saying what I said. I mean, I truly see us going 5-1, and realistically, it's only because of the Jets defense that I'm saying that. Like, it's the Jets defense, the only reason why that I'm like, okay, we could probably split with the Jets, and that's maybe. But I see us sweeping the Bills. I can see us. Well, we're sweeping the Patriots, but I
Right.
see
And
us
I,
sweeping
I
the
love when I love when he comes back and says, "Oh well, your third and 4 and 5 is trash receiver, and you don't utilize them all." Okay, fine. Point taken. What happens if we do start incorporating them more? You ever thought of that? Like,
They don't have the
has any
defense
Bills fan
for
ever
it.
thought of what happens if we do start utilizing them more? What if we start utilizing our tight end more? I mean, okay, yeah, you're going to shave off some of that production from Tyreek and Waddle, but again, you're shaving it off from two guys that are 2nd and 10th. I think we got room. I think we got some buffer to shave off there. And what happens if we do? We're destroying the league. That's all there is to it. That's why I'm excited about the team, despite whatever lack of excitement at certain positions, whatever. I mean, And that includes, the offensive line thing going on, whether we get Dalvin Cook or not, linebacker, all these different things. I'm still like, yo, I don't even believe in the
Of
quarterback.
course.
I don't
No,
even
and
believe in the quarterback, but I still am going to do the same thing I did last year and expect a 13-4 season
McDaniel just
and,
went
and a
live.
nice playoff run. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, listen. Right now, the Dolphins are showing you exactly what they are capable of doing. Not just that, we're no longer the gap between the Dolphins and the and the Bills is done. I was telling that to what's his name. I'm like, It's over. It's over. There is no more
Mm-hmm,
gap
mm-hmm,
between them. You know what I mean? Man, I
mm-hmm.
wish I could play the video. It's just I feel like it's gonna get it's gonna what do you call it? Um, I feel like it might slow down the buffering and stuff. Let me see. Do you mind staying? I don't know if you got somewhere to
No,
go,
I don't mind.
killer.
No, I don't mind. I was
Let
going
me
to say
see.
one other thing though is that,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
and first of all, let me be clear. I don't think anybody that I know, like in my audience, our mutual audience, the people we all see around in chat, I don't think any of those people are haters. Those aren't the people I'm addressing. But there are real Tua haters out there that just raw hate. I get that. So I'm going to address those people. And I'm going to say what those people fail to realize is that, um, you know, there's at some point where you don't, it just doesn't matter. It just, you know what I mean? Like, in other words, what they're doing is that's just what I was going to say. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. But what I was going to say to them is, y'all are overthinking it too much. Like I just went through, didn't even have to name our quarterback, didn't even have to even speak of the quarterback. And I still can expect a 13-4 record based on what I've been saying about us being better than, or not fearing the Bills, I should say. Okay.
Yeah.
And
No,
so
I'm
what I'm
with you
saying,
about that.
all of what I said was absent any talk of the quarterback other than Josh Allen and the fact that
Oh,
he can't survive, it seems, without his legs.
well, he can't.
So this is
You
why
take
I
away
think
his
that the
legs,
raw
he's
Tua
not
haters
gonna do
actually
it.
do. The raw Tua haters actually are actually overthinking it. Like really, you know what I mean? Sure,
I'll tell you
there
this.
may come a point. There may come a point where we're making a run and we lose a game because Tua couldn't step up. There may come that point, but that doesn't mean that anything going forward, as far as our team's ability to overcome just like they would overcome any other failure of performance by anybody else on the team.
Well, this is the other thing that people don't. Unfortunately, guys, I won't be able to play the. It's gonna buffer out and be horrible, so I'm just not gonna. I'm not gonna do that to you guys. But I'm gonna ask, cause since I already got you here and I got a few more minutes, and then I gotta go. But let's do a schedule prediction here, cause I already got mine. I already kind of went through it with what's his name with Mark, but I want to hear from you too. Like, because tell me if I'm wrong when I say this. I truly do believe we're gonna go into the Chargers and we're gonna win the game. Like, I don't see us losing that game, and then we're gonna go to the Gillette and we're gonna win that game too. Because guess what? The Dolphins thrive going up against Tom Brady. And isn't that the night that he's? Of course, they had to choose that freaking night to go ahead and celebrate Brady and whatever. Okay, y'all lost literally. Then we come back home and we got Denver at home. Home opener W. Am I wrong in any of those three, or what do you think?
Um, I think we're going to beat the Chargers just because I think that's sticking in McDaniel's craw. I think he wants to find a way to I don't think he believes in their defense at all, and I think he feels a certain level of embarrassment for having lost to them the way we did.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think a lot of things are going to be corrected that happened that game, and I think we can probably pull out the win against the Chargers, if not actually surprise everybody and roll them. That'd be nice too. But the Patriots in Gillette coming back from the West Coast, ooh, Miss Phins, that's tough, man. That is really tough. Bill Belichick is in the same boat as Mike McDaniel with the Chargers. Bill Belichick wants to show that, hey, I feel a certain level of embarrassment for having lost to Tua without them even really scoring much on offense, this and that and the other, right? Given the circumstances with the heat and all that, even though he did so much to help his team overcome it, which I think they did, to be honest with you, I think they really played us tough. They pressured Tua 41.7% of his snaps that game, the most of any team last season. And it is a lot tougher a game for us to win, even though, yes, the Patriots are in the tank. I get it, but it's still division opponent. Tough defense.
Yep.
Complex defense.
Yep.
And we're going to need our defense to score in that game if we're going to win it.
And I think
if we win, if I'm going to predict a win there, it's going to be because Jalen Ramsey gets a pick six.
Okay. And I hope that Mike Gesicki gets 3 touchdowns. I really do. All by himself. No one else scores in that team except Mike Gesicki. And then we beat them 5 touchdowns to 3 touchdowns.
Right. I'd just rather not have Gesicki score any. Unless you're talking about we're up 40-0 and he gets them in junk time. Okay, I can accept that.
I want him to shine because that's my man. You know what I mean? But we're still destroying the Patriots.
Okay, 1 touchdown in the first quarter. It's 41-7 in the fourth, and he gets 2 more in junk time.
I'm okay with that. I can live with that. But
now, I'm only rolling with you on this because I love you so much, Miss Phins, and I know how much you care about Gesicki. So that's the only reason I'm rolling with you on this.
I know. But listen.
Now, as far as Denver goes,
yeah.
I think our defense can expose Russell Wilson easily. I don't think him and Sean Payton are going to be totally gelled yet. No, and that might be our window of opportunity to beat them.
But it's going to take like mid-season for them to fully gel, in my opinion.
Exactly. So there is a window to snatch a win from them. Sure.
So now we're 3-0. Buffalo at Buffalo.
Oh, that's going to be fun. I'm going to
go
ahead.
In the season. Say it. Come on, man.
I'm tempted to say we're going to sweep Buffalo, so I'd have to give us a W there. But I know I'm going to look like a complete fool if I do.
So you're predicting a loss?
That may be the shocker that signals that we have arrived to the media. And so...
we're not going to get any respect because Miami never gets respect, period.
Well, who do I pick a loss to? I know we're going to lose at least 4 times. So... go ahead. They sneak out another one against us. They sneak out another one against us. Mark gets all up on his high horse until we face them again. They get the W in the first matchup. We'll go loss there. I'm sorry, I got to do it. Now, coming up on that week, hold on though. I reserve the right when that week comes. Okay. I'm going to be finding a way to predict we're winning. So don't hold me to this right now as far as backpedaling or whatever. I reserve the right to predict that we beat them during the game week. Okay.
Yes, that's fine. And that is available to you, sir, if and when, once that time does come. Now we got the Giants at home.
Oh, you're going to hate me, but I think we're going to easily take out the Giants.
Oh, I already picked us beating the Giants, so it's fine.
Right.
I love the Giants, this, but
I know. There comes a time in every fan's life when they have to hate themselves for a moment.
Yeah, well, listen, I and every other Dolphins fan will forever immortalize Eli Manning. That's all I gotta say, because if it wasn't for him, we are not the undisputed greatest team of all time. So it is what it is.
Back when it was kosher to say that you had a favorite opposite conference team.
Yeah.
Mine was the 49ers growing up. You know what I
Oh,
mean? But
really?
I've
All
totally
right.
abandoned that now. But it was only because of dang Joe Montana and Jerry
I
Rice,
get it.
man. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
It's
how could you
good.
not bandwagon them? When
Of
your team's
course.
out,
It's like
you know?
everybody who likes the Golden State Warriors. First of all, I didn't even know the Golden State Warriors were even a real team. Till no lie, the second year of Steph Curry. That's when I
Mhm.
was like, wait, is that an expansion team? Did we just get a new team? Come to find out they are an old team from like forever ago. And I'm like, I had no idea.
Right. And something
Uh,
about the best wide receiver ever to play the game, and me loving that position, something has to do with that too. You know what I mean?
of course, it makes sense. It makes sense. Okay, so we beat what you call it? We beat the Giants, the Panthers. Where we at with the Panthers?
Oh, we get that win. They got new stuff going on. They haven't shaken nothing out yet. We'll beat them.
Yeah,
We should beat them.
agreed. Agreed. Okay, good. What about
Unless they got
we
some
got
kind of
Eagles?
secret sauce we don't know about cooking. You know what I mean?
They got what about the Eagles?
Oh, man. Man. Naturally, I would say that's another place where I could assign one of those four losses. But I'm going to go out on a limb with a hot take. I think a lot of Dolphin fans
What?
are using that game as an opportunity to be quote unquote fair, okay, and show that they're not too much of a homer
Homer.
by predicting us losing that game. And
Yeah.
I'm not going to follow suit. I actually think we beat them
Okay.
in the
I'll take
regular
it.
season. I
I'll
think
take it.
what we saw matchup wise in the preseason last year. I know everybody's going to say, "Oh, Color, it was a preseason game. Jalen Hurts didn't even play." Blah blah blah. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about matchup wise. What I witnessed. Forget who was controlling the football under center on either side of the ball. I think we were owning their trenches, first team to first team in the first
Swing.
quarter,
It was
and
48-3 by like the
yeah, I
first
mean,
half.
in other words, based on eye test alone in a preseason matchup in the first quarter, which is a fair assessment, I believe,
Okay.
I don't fear them like most people do. Yes, they are a great team. They made a great run last year, but they can be beat, and
They
they are
absolutely
just
could
men,
be.
you
They
know.
absolutely could be beat. Okay.
And I mean, honestly, I think that may be one that maybe that's the shocker. We lose to Buffalo, but then we go and beat Philadelphia.
The Super Bowl
You
contending
know, the
Philadelphia,
runner ups, right?
arguably
The
the
Super
number
Bowl
one.
runner ups.
Yeah.
You could
Right.
also say there's something to be said also for you know people always talk about Super Bowl hangover, right? And they always assign that to the team that won, as if winning one more ball game made it much tougher on them making their run than it did the team that lost.
You're right.
Why can't the runner up have a Super Bowl hangover?
That is true. I mean, whoever said that the Super Bowl is easy, I don't know what you're thinking. Because
I mean, Philadelphia didn't go undefeated last year. Who beat them?
ooh, tis true, tis true. You're speaking too many facts, sir. You're speaking too many facts.
I think we snatched that one. I'm hot taking it right now. We beat the Philadelphia
Okay,
Eagles.
there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You're steamy, hot,
And I think I've
take,
made it clear that it's not a homer take.
super hot take right there. Absolutely, that's what I'm talking about.
I mean, there's some
Absolutely.
homer peppered in, you know what I mean? But it's not a homer take. I think there's a legit look when that week comes. I guarantee you, when the analysts on whatever your favorite television network is does their predictions for the game, it ain't going to be across the board Eagles. I guarantee that.
That will put us right now at mm,
One
six and
loss
one.
to the Bills, 6-1.
6-1. And then we go and we have Patriots here at home. W.
Uh, Man, they start getting things going on. Maybe they snatch one from us. There's always going to be that division game you're supposed to win, but you lose. No, I'm going to say they steal it from us there. We stole it from them in Gillette with a
Okay.
Jalen Ramsey pick six. They steal it back from us in Hard Rock and piss off a lot of
Okay.
fans. Oh,
Okay.
excuse me.
What
I'm
about
sorry.
Kansas City in Deutschland?
That's probably why also we lose to the New England Patriots because we need to save some in the tank for that game and that travel and all that.
We losing
And
that
I
game?
think, oh man, that's tough because I already picked us to beat the Eagles and I wanted us to pick us to snatch that game too. But there's getting a lot less to lose to. You know what? I'll go Homer on this one. We beat the Chiefs in Frankfurt.
None of my predictions have us winning, but hey, I'll take it.
We
Uh,
squeeze it out.
week
Tua
10
finally gets it
bye
done
week.
against Mahomes.
Okay, okay, I see that. Week 10 bye week, then we got week 11 in Las Vegas.
Oh wow, we got to go all, but we'd have a bye week in between, right?
Yeah, yeah, week 10. Week 10,
Okay,
and then we
okay.
go to Las Vegas.
I don't know. I think Josh McDaniels and Garoppolo might actually have enough brains to put something together to take us out.
Are you serious?
Who do we got left on the schedule? Well, because I'm already up to 2 losses, right?
Yeah, so you got Vegas at New York Jets, at Washington, at home for Tennessee, home for Jets, home for Dallas, away for Baltimore, and home for Buffalo.
Okay, I think the Raiders steal it from us. We lose to the Raiders,
Well,
even
so is
after a
this that
bye week.
trap game? That's the trap game you're picking,
Yeah.
or because you
No,
already
no,
picked
no,
you
no,
picked the
no,
Broncos
no.
to
I'll go.
lose.
No, because we're coming off a bye week. It would be absolutely embarrassing to have beat the Chiefs and then
You
well,
because
we're
I'm
not
like
coming.
you already got us losing to Denver, so
Did I?
or was it Buffalo
No,
that
it
we
was
lose to?
It was New England.
Oh, okay, then
At
I might have
home.
switched in
At home,
my
it was New England at home, and
No, no, New England's away. That first week is New England away. That second week is
right,
New
right,
England away.
right. But I said Jalen Ramsey gets a pick six, and we beat them in the away game.
True, true.
Right, and then we
Wait.
had
So
Buffalo. Who did we have
so
after
wait a
New
minute.
England?
So are we losing to the New England away or no?
No, we're losing to them at Hard Rock.
Okay, so we won the away one, but then you had us losing to Denver though.
Uh, no,
No, Buffalo.
no.
Then we losing to Buffalo.
It was no. I said, wait a minute. Yeah, I did. I said we would lose to Buffalo
Okay, so that's the one that
the first game.
I got. It. Okay, so we lose to Buffalo, not to. Okay,
Right,
okay.
because
Got
that
it.
was
Got
the
it.
one
Got
we're
it.
not
Got
going
it.
to
Got it.
shock the world just yet. Right, we're not going to shock the world just yet. It's Philadelphia we shocked the world against.
And that'll be Philly that we beat. Yeah, okay. And then
Mm,
we beat away New England. They beat us at home over here. We go to
correct.
Germany, beat Kansas City,
We
get the bye
win.
week.
Yep.
Then you said we win versus the Raiders.
The
Then we
Raiders.
go to
Yep.
New York. We go to New York for the MetLife Takeover Prime Time Black Friday. Mm,
I think we may drop that one. They beat
I
us in
still
their
think we
house
win.
without Aaron Rodgers. So you know what I mean. And I don't think Aaron Rodgers is
Uh,
afraid of our secondary. To be honest with you,
does Garoppolo actually end up playing for Vegas? I do
he
think
should
so.
be,
What
but
about
he's
you?
not. What's that?
You don't think so? That Garoppolo will end up playing in Vegas for Vegas. I think it
I
will.
thought that's where he's at, ain't it? Ain't he?
It is. Let
Yeah,
me
Josh
see.
McDaniels will go with Garoppolo. Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's no competition there.
Then we're at Washington. W.
That may be a trap. I don't want to say we lose to the Commanders, but that may be a trap.
I got a trap game versus Phins. That's
Oh
the
no, no,
that's
I had us losing to the Jets. I had us losing to the Jets in New York, right? So no, so
yeah.
I'm up to 3 losses right now, right?
Yep.
Okay, so no, we beat the Commanders.
And then we got Tennessee at home. Win.
I think
Jets
yes.
at home.
I think Tennessee comes to Miami and it's pouring down rain and we beat them.
Yes. Okay. Then we got uh, Jersey at home.
Who?
The Jets, New Jersey
Oh, the
Jets. Sorry.
Jets at home.
Yeah.
I think, man, our fans
Are we
show up because
kidding?
we are upset about losing to them in New York. Hard Rock is
Okay.
jumping that night or day, and boom, we beat them.
Perfect. Then we got the last home game, or second to last home game. We got the Cowboys coming here Christmas Eve.
Oh, we embarrassed the Cowboys. The accident
Beautiful.
waiting to happen.
Then we go to Buffalo to Baltimore.
That's our fourth loss. I think Lamar Jackson just absolutely shreds us.
I agree. I agree. Actually, I think that's gonna be a really bad
And
loss.
it's been medicine coming, to be honest with you guys, because we have
It
beaten them.
is.
We've
It is.
kind of taken it to them the last
Twice
couple
back to
games,
back, right?
and
Yeah.
they ain't used to that, you know. So
Nope.
I think John
Nope.
Harbaugh has circled that game on his schedule, and I think we are going to lose to them.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And then home for Buffalo, and we win that puppy.
We win,
So you got
absolutely.
us.
We
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 got 13 and
not
four.
only do we win in Buffalo at home, but we absolutely take them to the woodshed in that game.
And you know the funny part is, after that point, because when Mark and I was talking, because we did the Buffalo Bills one too. At up to that point, we were 12. We were both 12-4, both teams.
Hmm.
But there's
So,
I'm 1,000% confident that we beat Bills here come January, and that will put us at 13-4. They will be 12-5, which is what I have them as, and it would be for the division because
hmm
Jets are not gonna fight us for the division. Really, it's gonna be between us, and I do think that last game will be for the division. We will not only just win the division, mark my words, we're gonna be number two in the conference, and I'm only saying number two because of Kansas City. That's it. Okay.
yep. And you know
I got
what?
Kansas City being number one. I got Dolphins being number two. I got Bengals being number three. And my number four team that I think realistically is going to come out of the AFC.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah. Because I think the
Normally,
Jaguars
normally, normally Tennessee
it will be
owns that
Tennessee.
fourth
It
spot
will be
every year,
yes.
and it's going to be Jacksonville this year instead.
It's gonna be Jacksonville. Bro, we are so here right now.
I
We're so here
know.
because
And you know
I'm
what?
telling you.
I was able to keep my 13-4 expectation intact while only really had like maybe two homerish takes, really. I think it's
Yeah.
pretty fair. I mean, so if my two homerish takes don't pan out, we're 11-6.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you,
You
this
know,
is
I
for
mean,
dude, for playoffs right now, we're calling it. I think you and I are both in sync when it comes to who we think it's gonna be. I mean, honest to God, who is gonna actually be in the playoffs in our opinion, and I have to 1,000% agree. I say Kansas City is gonna be one, Dolphins two, Bengals three, Jags four. That means we got what three, three wild card spots, right? Because of seven, right? I think Bills are gonna be fifth, and then you have then that's when you're gonna see either Baltimore, and you know who I think might sneak in. I think Steelers might sneak in. I'm just saying. I think it'll be
that's
Bills,
not a bad take.
Steelers, and the last team. Oh, Baltimore. Yeah, yeah. Steelers. I forgot I didn't put Baltimore. I think Baltimore is gonna win. I think Ravens.
The only adjustment I would make is that usually when you have two teams fighting it out for one division in the playoffs, the team that doesn't win the division either misses the playoffs entirely, or they usually land in the seventh seed because of of how it all shakes out. That's usually how it works.
Let
So
me
I would be
see.
more apt to put Buffalo in the seventh seed having fought it out with us for the division, and because look, the same thing happened to us
Well,
last
the
year. Like
only
it
reason is
usually
because
works
Buffalo's
that
going to
way.
be 12-5. It's
Yeah,
because of the
true.
12-5. That's the only reason why. I don't think that Ravens are going to be.
You don't think they can go
Um.
12-5 and have a tiebreaker on
Uh.
the Bills?
Okay, so let's go real quick to the Ravens because
You
I
see what
think.
I'm saying, though, right? Like it usually
No,
works out that
I'm
the
not.
team that
Hey,
don't hit
hey,
the
listen.
division usually ends up the sixth or
The
seventh
same
seed. You know
division
what
in
I
the
mean?
AFC North. I got two of them. Yeah. No, I get that. I got two of them. I got the Bengals and Ravens making it from the North. So
Right,
I
right.
understand that,
Oh,
and I
okay.
got
So
two
they're
of
in
them
the
from the
same
East.
boat. Right, right. So they're in the same boat. Yeah. So it
Yeah,
could be
they're in the
one of
same
them
boat as
two that
us.
gets the seventh seed. Sure,
That's
sure.
that's the
Okay.
reason why I say Bills are gonna be because they'll be twelve
Right,
and
right.
five. I think
So
Ravens are
you'll
probably
think
they
they'll hit the
could have.
fifth seed, right? You said
I
Bills will
think
hit
they'll
the
hit
fifth
that
seed.
fifth. I
Okay.
think the Bills will hit that fifth seed. Ravens will get it because I think they'll go like 11-6. They might even
Mm-hmm.
have the same 12-5, but I do believe the Bills will beat them, which is why I give the notch to the Bills. And then I think, like
Mm-hmm.
I said before, I do believe the Steelers are going to be the one
That's going to
to
be tough
sneak
having
in.
three out of one division. You know what I mean?
Well, again, it's happened before.
Oh, I know. Sure,
And
sure.
B. I could see it as them sneaking, but that would only be if you have an absolute collapse. Which let's
Mm-hmm.
look. Let's go into the AFC real quick. Broncos, in my opinion, they're not making the playoffs. Raiders, neither. The Chargers are gonna vie for that seventh seed. So you got realistically, you got the Titans, the Chargers, Steelers are really gonna be vying for that seventh seed. Jets ain't gonna do nothing. We already know Patriots are not gonna do nothing. We
For
do have
me,
the
I think it
Browns.
almost comes down to the Steelers and the Raiders as sneaking in. I really don't think. I think Josh McDaniels and Garoppolo have enough to make something happen out there.
I don't know, man.
Devontae Adams. I mean,
Yes, but
that
he's
whole
already
Josh
been struggling.
Jacobs.
They barely started the off season, man. He was just
I don't
squeaking
know.
the second they got him. Like
Well, McDaniels is known as a quick preparer. I mean, he always got the Patriots back in order really quickly. You know,
it's true, but you see where I'm coming from when
Tom
I
Brady
say
helped with that. I get it, but remember that too, Miss Vince.
that doesn't hurt.
McDaniels has worked with Garoppolo. McDaniels made
Yeah, I know.
Garoppolo look just like Tom Brady when he was in his
Hey,
backup. You know,
I remember, which is why Tom Brady was like, "Nah, I don't want him here," because he knew Bill Belichick was going to clamor for Garoppolo and would have cut his career shorter. And he was like, "No, absolutely not."
notice how I was able to how I said McDaniels made Garoppolo look like Brady. Notice how I was able to say that
Yeah,
because I'm not an idiot. I don't believe in Garoppolo either. I'm just saying that like that's a case where somebody can make somebody else look better, like a coach can like make a quarterback
absolutely.
look better. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely. But this
He
is
could
why I
only
say
do
what
that
I
for so
say.
long though until well he could only do that until we broke his shoulder. You know,
That is
so
true. That is true. So if you go by the East, you got Dolphins coming in number two. You got Bills coming in number five because I do believe the Bills will have a better record than the Steelers, than the Titans, and either Ravens or then either the Ravens or the Chargers, which is why I put them as fifth. Then you got if you go to the North, we already got Bengals in number three. I I mean Baltimore, in my opinion, will make it right behind the Bills. You know what I mean? And then you got the
mhm.
Steelers and the Browns, which to me they're both going to be very competitive.
I
It'll be the
forgot
same
about the
thing
Browns
before.
too.
Exactly. It'll be first of all Pickett. It's Pickett. We already know they're going to have a winning season at
Oh,
minimum nine
Browns
and
could
eight
have a real shot if they end up acquiring D Hop. They could have a real shot.
if they get D Hop. I don't see it really. They already have a good team, but if they get D Hop, it'll put them over the top, in my opinion. And
I
then
mean, I mean,
I would have to flip the Browns for the Steelers, in my
right?
prediction.
I mean, if I remember correctly, I don't have the list up in front of me right now, but I think Amari Cooper landed 11th, if I remember correctly, on my list.
Uh,
And
I know
they
he was up
also
there. He was top 15.
and
On
they
that I do know.
and now given what I had said earlier, about two receivers in consideration. They did also have Donovan Peoples Jones in the top 42. You know what I mean? So they ended up getting consideration because he had more than 60 receptions. So they're not bad off as people think they are. You had
They're not,
somebody
and
like
it's
D
gonna be
Hop,
second
and that
year in that
place
same
could
offense
explode.
for him. It's gonna be the second year in that same offense
Hmm.
for Deshaun. We already know he's a stud, top five quarterback. He's getting
Hmm.
his legs underneath him. He's been playing all off season with his team. He's gonna solidify this team, and in that case, I could see the Browns, and Steelers fighting for that seventh. You know what I mean? But if you go to the
Hmm.
South, Texans aren't doing nothing. The Tennessee Titans will probably be the only ones really that's gonna give any chance of maybe trying to go for that seventh seed. That's why I said
Yeah,
if
and we smashed their hopes in that pouring down rain game I was talking about. Yeah, we smashed their
exactly
hopes and punched the
they're
Jags
gonna
ticket.
lose the division in that off the gate. That's why.
The
So
Jags fans are gonna love us, man. Roach is gonna start coming back around, be like, "Thanks, you guys punched our tickets by destroying the Titans. Thank you."
exactly, Colts. You got the Colts aren't really gonna do nothing. They're still rebuilding. They don't really have a solid. They don't have. They're not solidified. So realistically, out of the South, it's the Titans that could probably go for that not that seventh seed. And then if you go to the West, we know Broncos aren't really gonna make it, but they have a shot, but not really. I think it's gonna take at least one solid year for Sean Payton to get underneath with Russell. To then
Yeah.
next year they're gonna be a
Speaking
viable
of the
team. But
Drew Brees program,
exactly, literally, carbon copy. You know what I mean? So that's why I think it's this year they're not really they're gonna get their kinks out. Next year, then they're gonna be somewhat competitive. I think the same thing with the Raiders. I think the Raiders with Garoppolo, they're gonna be all right, but I still think that first year they're gonna have to get their kinks out, and then next year they're probably gonna be competitive. The only real team besides the Chiefs in the West for the AFC would be the Chargers. But the Chargers have Joey Bosa, but they do have some defensive issues.
I
That's the
think
only other team really
I
has
think
the
the
chance.
Chargers' real problem, based on looking at again going back to my
Oh,
list, I think their real problem is their wide receiver crew is getting
oh,
old. They're getting dated. You know
Keenan
what I mean?
Allen. Isn't
I
Keenan
mean,
Allen 31? I think, if I'm not mistaken.
on the list.
No, 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 no.
Oh,
Like
31 years old. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And look, I'm
like
a huge fan of Keenan Allen. I
me
think the guy's
too,
got
me
great
too.
eyes and hands. He catches everything thrown to him. You know what I mean?
But he's
But
got to be available, and he's not.
yeah, and again,
In the last
a
three
guy like
seasons, he's
that,
played
they're
half the season pretty much every year.
right, right, right. And you're talking about arguably their number one guy,
Is
and
their number
he
one guy.
fall and he rounded out the top 25. He landed at 25th. You know what I mean?
So that's I see where you're coming from. They have some worries in their secondary when it comes to their defense, but realistically, it's more of
Right,
that
and if Herbert couldn't have utilized a veteran like Keenan Allen and Mike Williams to get them more production, then what do you think Herbert would do with inferior receivers?
exactly. So that's why I say it for that seven seed because I could genuinely see the AFC. I could see the East having two, the North having two, the South for sure having that one, and the number four with being the Jags. I think the West, the only one the West. Oh well, yeah, I think the West. I think you have a better chance of seeing the Titans at seven than you would the Raiders or Chargers, in my opinion. And then and then you have the Browns and you got Steelers in the North vying for that third spot.
And the
That
Titans
last
did
spot.
retain Vrabel, right? He's still their coach, right?
Yes, yes, he's still their
Yeah,
coach.
and I mean,
Smartest thing ever.
I'd like to
It's
say that I
smartest
give the
thing ever.
edge, right? And I was saying I'd probably give the edge to that over to the Raiders, but Vrabel has been a moniker of consistency over his tenure, and I think the Titans. If you're talking about who could sneak in that last spot, I mean, let's be honest, the Titans have been pretty consistently in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Agreed, which is why I wouldn't fire Brable. Brable to me
Right.
is the right coach for that franchise. It
But
just
then
like I
that goes
think that
then that
I
goes
just think
against
that
what
the Lions
McDaniels can do with Garoppolo and Adams and Jacobs in the crew. You know what I mean? It just
yeah. But
that's what
now,
the
but
verses is there.
but this is why I put my playoff prediction. I gotta give KC the pro. They just won the Super Bowl, so there's no, you know what I mean. They generally can go
You don't
15 and
think at some point they're going to want to take a break,
they're gonna want to take a break. Absolutely not.
at
And
least
the
for
only
one
reason why
season? They haven't
they're young,
earned one season of taking
they're
plays
young.
off.
That's why they're young. They're very young team. They got the juices to keep going. They got that
Andy
young
Reid's
motor.
like, get the heck out of here, color. You
Yeah,
don't you
exactly.
don't deserve to be a
That's the only
chief.
reason why, because they have a young core. Because their core is so young, that's why they got the high motor. So until they become,
Right.
honestly, in the next 4 years, maybe when they age out, that's probably it. When contracts fully kick in, when you got to re-sign Kelsey, when you got, you know what I mean, like though, that's when maybe they might stumble. I would say towards the end of the next 4 years.
So
But
speaking of the Chiefs, did you catch the part about their best receiver on my list was Juju at 21st?
oh yes, which was
Yeah,
hilarious,
and
and everybody was
and
mad. I'm
everybody
like, why?
and so I went ahead and just for fairness, I factored in what Kelsey's numbers would be and where it would land him on the wide receiver list, and he ended up being like seventh.
Yeah, it was insane.
So no shade on Mahomes for not having a top receiver, you know what I mean, on my list, He
Because he
had
has a dog
his
tight
guy
end.
on there.
Exactly. He's got a
I
dog
just
tight end.
I
What the
just
heck?
purposely left out other positions. I said no, I'm not even making an exception for Kelsey. I want this to be wide receiver only. You
It's
know what I
smart.
mean? But
Smart. 100.
in fairness, I did do it to see where he would have landed, and it would have been
That's awesome.
seventh.
No. That was great. And you know what? I'm glad that we did this because I got your prediction for the team. I genuinely do believe we can go 13-4. And honestly, for the playoffs, the only other team that I think that could go above us is Kansas City, game wise. You know what I mean? And
Well, I don't know, Miss Phins. At some point, the league's defenses are going to have to look at what I looked at and say, "Hey, wait a minute." I mean, they got Juju. They got who else? They got Pacheco. I guess is a kind of a catching running back.
yeah,
And other
I'm
than
not
that,
expecting to be beaten.
everything runs through Kelsey. So why don't defenses like throw caution to the wind and make them test their receivers? Triple Kelsey if you got to.
Because
Let another guy run wide open if you got to. What's the
when
difference?
you because
You
when you
know?
triple Kelsey, you're gonna have someone else open because you have Patrick Mahomes who extends plays. That's the only reason why. That's the only reason why. If
I mean, I get
Patrick
that, but
Mahomes
at
was a
some point
pocket
there has to be a
passer,
failure point. At some point there has to be a failure point, and defenses have to find it. I mean, it's got to be there.
color, did we not?
You can't
Did
tell
we
me
not?
an offense is going to roll their entire game through a tight end and nobody can defeat it. It's just
Color,
amazing to me.
we've already done it. This is a problem. Our offense couldn't capitalize. We
True.
didn't just do it. We've done it twice already in the last 4 years. Both games we should have won, but we didn't. Why? Because literally our offense could not capitalize on what our defense was able to produce. But if we had the offense to match the
I
defense
just
that
really
we have,
feel like I feel like they've been able to throttle us, to be
get out of
honest with you,
here,
Miss
man.
Fins. I think that the
Get
idea
out
that
of
we played them close, I think was, okay, Mahomes got back off the bench and said, oops, I got to actually put something into it and took back over the game. That's the way I look at it. Maybe it's just me. I don't know, but
Yeah,
I think they
nah.
throttled us.
Mahomes is great. Obviously, we know this, but at the end of the
I
day,
think we're better. Hold on. Let me reiterate this.
all right,
I think we're better. We're better a team than to be taking a chance on trying to throttle us. And that's what Patrick Mahomes learned. But he was still able to put it back in gear and recapture the game. You see what I'm saying?
man, I get what you're saying,
At
color.
that time, that was 2 years
At that
ago.
time,
You
yes,
know what I
right,
mean? We're
yes,
completely
hundred
different
percent.
defense and everything now. You know what I mean?
Nope, you're 1,000% right. at that point where we were, yes. But people have to also understand that they're not as difficult because you understand the players that they're going for. It's just the fact that when you have somebody that you can't tackle, aka Patrick Mahomes, that's where the problem is. That's
All
it.
right, Miss Fin and Miss Fins.
Like,
One other thing too. One other aspect. Now, this is not to say that Patrick Mahomes wouldn't have had the same game if the situation were reversed, because he's proven to me that he didn't necessarily need Tyreek Hill. Okay, fine, he proved that to me, but we certainly did. And so now, if you that day that they beat us, if you're sitting there watching the game and you're going, what happens if we had their Tyreek Hill and they didn't that game? Sure, Patrick Mahomes would have still had a great game and all that, but could we have not been the victors that day because we're the ones with Tyreek Hill?
yeah, 100%. 100%. 100%. Because it's Tyreek Hill.
Not to say that Mahomes needed him, but that we certainly could have that day. You know what I mean?
Oh, we absolutely could have. And that's why this is why I think that a lot of people forget where they're not unbeatable. They are absolutely beatable. It's just, do you have the players?
Wait, it sounds like I just said that every quarterback needs a skill player like Tyreek to be successful. It sounds like that's what I just said.
I
Did
mean,
I
you
just
wouldn't
say
be
that,
wrong.
Miss Fins?
You wouldn't be wrong though.
Wow. Did I just say it wasn't really to his fault that we lost that game? He just didn't have enough weapons like the other guy did?
Well, you know
Did I
what?
just say
You just said that,
that?
but I did say earlier
How
it's
dare
because
I?
our offense did not produce what we needed them to do. It is what it is. It is what it is at this point. Our offense did not produce what we needed them to do, and because of that, we
And
lost.
let's face it, we could find out 5 years from now that Pacheco is just as good as Tyreek Hill. Maybe
Jesus,
Mahomes does
let
need
that
still
not
a
happen.
Tyreek Hill, even though it's a different name on the
Let
jersey.
that
You know what I
not
mean?
happen. Exactly. Let that not happen because then it'd be like,
So
oh
doesn't
no.
that make me right? Does that make me end up being right that Patrick Mahomes would have seen a regression had he not had a guy with the skill level of Tyreek Hill, with
Yeah,
just a different name on his jersey?
that is true. Yeah, that is true. I mean, I can't even argue that.
Sounds like Kansas City knows how to coach up small scat backs into wide receivers. That's what it sounds like to me.
It sounds like we better be doing something else with ourselves. But you know what? We just went through the AFC as far as who we think playoffs wise. What about the NFC? Who do you think is going to take it from the NFC? Because AFC division, I mean, let's not lie. I think in the East, the number one team is going to be the Eagles. I think
Well,
Eagles are
Dallas,
number one.
Dallas is falling off the face of the earth this year. I
Thank
guarantee
you.
that.
A
They are
thousand
finally
percent.
going to show everybody exactly what they are. You know, they're not going to surprise me. They're not. I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, I didn't see that coming. No, they're going to fall off the face of the earth this year. So Dallas is out. Sorry.
Dallas is out.
I think who's our resident Dallas fan? Molly Mall, is it?
Oh, I forget. I
Sorry
forget.
to
But I
say
know
that,
who you're
Molly
talking about.
Mall. I know you love your Cowboys, but I'm gonna have to
Oh, and
tell you,
real
your
quick before
Cowboys
you
are just
before
done.
we continue and finish this part out, Brady rode his tight ends to 7 Super Bowls and no one figured it out. I can see Mahomes doing the same. I'm 100% with you, Scotty. I mean,
I
you ain't
guess
lying
so.
there. That's for sure. You
He
are
one
not
of those
lying there.
bowls. One of those. Well, I guess that wasn't a victory, but he did have Randy Moss one of those years. I mean,
One of those years, yeah. The NFC seems so much weaker than the AFC this season by far, or is it just me? It's been like that for the last 5 years. AFC period is weaker. So the NFC,
I
sorry,
could
the
see the
NFC.
Rams getting back on track and back in form.
Okay, but we're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4. So we know Eagles are winning the East. Who's winning the North? Because you got Vikings, Packers, Lions, Bears.
Lions.
Packers, I don't think are going to do anything. I truly, bro, are you reading my mind or something? because I do feel like the
Well, we
Lions.
at the Phins tailgate have been calling the Lions run for the last 2 seasons.
I
So,
have
you
too.
know,
They have been my
yes, you have.
school.
Yes, you have. You've
They
been
have
with
been
us
my
on
school
that.
for the
Sure.
last 2 years. I'm like, do not count them out. They've had the top three offense the last 2 3 years consistently. They just haven't had the defense. So okay, and
Hmm.
then who's winning the South? You got Falcons, Panthers, Saints, Bucks. Bucks are rebuilding. The Saints don't really know what they have. Carolina neither. Neither do Falcons. That has
The
to be the
Falcons have
most
been the one.
open.
Out of those teams, the Falcons have been the ones making the best moves and making the most
Yes,
progress.
I agree
Uh,
100%. If I had to pick one, it would have to be the Falcons simply because of the move they've made so far in the last couple of years. You know
yep.
they got a great tight end.
I think we're gonna see continued
Even with
improvement in
Desmond Ritter, I
production
still
from.
feel like they're going to develop him. So,
Yep, and that running back they got that we were high on at the Finns tailgate last year,
oh,
Tyler Algier.
yes, yes,
I think
Algier.
that
Yeah,
guy's going to continue to show more breakout
agreed.
games and continue to get better and better, and he could end up being
And
a Christian McCaffrey type.
they
You know,
already got, they already got the tight end. So, to me, the best team so far in this division because of what Tampa Bay is redoing has to be the Falcons. So I think they do come in third for the NFC. Who's winning the West?
I think secret. Oh, one other thing about the Falcons, I think
Go ahead.
secretly they're high on Desmond Ritter.
Ooh, I think so too. And maybe they're not. Maybe they're not as. And you know what? I made a mistake, guys. I made a mistake, and my apologies. I think the number two team in the NFC will be the 49ers, in my opinion. I think the 49ers are going to take that division. Again, in my opinion, I do believe so. Even though they don't technically have a quarterback, like other teams do. Yes, the NFC South has to be the worst division. Period. Um, in my opinion, but I do believe, even though the Rams, like you say, color might be bouncing back, I gotta give the Niners that division. What do you think?
I'm gonna stand by what I said. I think they get back. The Rams get back in full form, and I think they can. Well, 49ers are dang good though. Um,
CMC. I mean, they proved to you that they can win with the seventh round rookie.
they've got such a highly productive wide receiver in Los Angeles.
So,
They've got a decent, run scheme. Uh,
and their defense is
Cooper
actually
Cup,
really good.
Miss Fins.
And their
Cooper
defense is actually
Cup.
really good. I know
This
Cooper
guy
Cup's
makes
not
it.
picking.
This guy makes it to the top 15 on my list.
Maybe we'll
Right,
see half the season.
playing 9 games. I
I don't
mean,
know.
and who did they have throwing the ball last year?
Um, honestly, I don't even remember.
So yeah, there is something to be said that they probably force fed it to Cup. But what if he had 3 more games last year? He would
We
have been
already know he's
challenging
gonna be
Jefferson and Tyreek Hill for the top spot.
100%. 100%. Are the Cardinals gonna go for a full tank? I don't know about full tank because they already got their quarterback. They already paid what's his name, so I don't think they need to
I
go
don't.
full
I
tank.
look. I'm pretty sure my spit could make it closer to that canal I'm looking at right now than the Cardinals will to doing anything this year.
Oh, I don't think that they're gonna go full tank though. Come on, man. Look, I
No,
know
I'm
you're
saying it
saying
don't
that.
matter if they're full tank or not. I think they're a trash team.
Yeah. Well, we got the Eagles going number one in the conference. The Niners, in my opinion, will go number two. Lions, then Falcons. Who's gonna get the three wild card spots? Let's be honest. And
Well,
I think this,
then let's put the Rams there. You know what I
then
mean?
I was gonna say, yeah. Well, I think the Rams, in your opinion, based on what you're saying, yes. I think Anthony. Good morning, sir. I see that you're asking for the link, but I gotta close it out because I gotta get to work. But I appreciate you, buddy. I think the Rams will be one of them. I do think, and people may want challenges, but I think the Giants are gonna be one of them sleeper teams that makes the wild card, in my opinion. And so I think it's
Mhm.
gonna be Rams. Where do they fall? We're gonna talk about that in a second, but I think Giants and I think Rams are gonna be it. And then as far as the third team, Vikings, man. I can't forget about the Vikings. In my opinion, I would put Vikings as the fifth team. I would put Giants as a sixth team, and then Rams sneaking in my opinion. What do you think?
Well, I mean,
What do you think?
honestly, if you shut down Justin Jefferson, they're going to have to rely on Adam Thielen. And to be honest with you, I'm a big fan of Adam Thielen, but later in his career, I mean, let's be real. Noah shut him down last year.
Yeah, I
I
get
mean,
you. So you don't think that they can get a wild card spot?
I don't know. I don't know.
So who would you put
I
then if
don't
it
know.
was fifth? Not
Um,
Vikings, but do you agree with
I,
the Giants and the Rams?
yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Um,
Okay, so who
but
would be the
I
the
guess by default, you could put Minnesota in that in that spot. You know,
Yeah, because you're
because
not
really,
putting the
who else
Bears,
is
who's still
there?
rebuilding. You're not putting the
Right,
Bears, who's
right.
still rebuilding. You can't put the Saints. Ain't gonna happen. The Commanders, maybe, and that's a
Yeah, they have been able to
ugh.
do a lot without any
Seahawks.
quarterback. You
That is
know, to be
true. What
honest
about the
with you.
Seahawks? What about the
I mean,
Seahawks?
Scary Terry was right up there in my top 15, I think,
Yes,
too.
he was. Yes, he was.
And who's been throwing the ball to him? You know what I mean?
Honestly, I don't even know at this point. So,
Right.
what about the Seahawks? The Seahawks is another team. I can see them getting in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
who
could
would
see that.
round out the who do you think then? You're sticking to the Rams. I'm gonna concede to the Rams. I'll give you the Rams. I still feel like the
Then we had
Giants
the
are gonna be
Giants.
in
Then we
there.
had the Giants, right?
So
And we
who's
got one
gonna
more
get that
spot, right?
last spot? Because I put Giants first, then Rams, and then for the seventh team,
Hmm.
it could be Seahawks, maybe Commanders, maybe Vikings. I don't see anybody else really contending.
I might go with just the Seahawks there then.
Okay. And Seahawks, what do you think them? Like, where do you think? Do you think they'll have a better record than the Giants and Rams?
Probably not, but the thing about Pete Carroll's when he's got something cooking, it usually doesn't. It usually keeps getting consistently better until it falls completely apart. And so I think they're going to continue to be what they were last year, and you know check everybody basically, and that could
Agreed.
usually earns you a seventh seed. You know what I mean? I mean, let's
Agreed.
face
And
it.
you know what?
Let's
I mean,
face
I
it.
could honestly,
Didn't they win the
I could
Super Bowl going 9-7 one year?
it's so
You know,
ridiculous. But yeah, it was insane. But you know what? I could totally see them making it, sneaking in. Carr went to New Orleans, right? Yes, he did. Their car. Are they on the top, on the up or down? So they got their car, the
I mean, they
Saints,
still got Kamara and Michael Thomas and
and they also still have the Swiss Army knife in Hill. So
Taysom Hill.
uh,
Yeah,
I mean,
too gimmicky for me, to be honest with
yeah,
you. Just all around.
they got to figure it out first, honestly.
From Kamara's gold grill to Taysom Hill, just so gimmicky on that team, man.
And I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
the Seahawks with Pete Carroll, because Pete Carroll again, he's a great head coach. I feel like they were able to kind of overcome a lot of the lumps of first year team, like a team that assembles that first year. That to me, this second year, they're gonna be able to build hard on that, and they still got DK, they still got uh,
Yeah, and they got a head coach
they
that's
got
making
what's his
Geno
name,
Tyler Lockett. They
Lockett. There you go.
and they got a head coach that's making Geno Smith look like the second coming of Jay Cutler.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what, Jay Cutler, that sec, not with us, but he was looking good. So hey, and so we got for the NFC, we got the Eagles #1 overall, Niners #2, Lions 3, Falcons 4. Then we got the Giants at 5, Rams at 6, and Seahawks at 7. And for the AFC, we got Kansas City at 1, Dolphins 2, Bengals 3, Jags at 4. We got the Bills at 5, Ravens at 6, and Steelers sneaking in at 7.
Now
And that
try
is
not
our
to lose
playoff.
that sticky note this year, Miss Vince.
Okay, first of all, I literally already I put it in here. I taped it. I made sure. And I wrote it playoffs. I put in the date. So and I'm gonna put this as color emissions.
Did you print a hard copy this year?
I know, but it's solid this time, so you don't gotta worry about that. I made sure because I'm like Jesus. This I
And
can't
I'm
make
just kidding. Y'all gotta realize Miss Finns is the best record keeper in this business. Like she has notes for every single thing she's said. Just so y'all know. I've
I think
actually
that's
seen I have seen the notebook.
all. Yeah, it's a lot. So, but no, listen, color. I appreciate it because I think this is exactly what we were looking for. You know what I mean? And it's fun even determining the playoffs prior to because you get to see like where do you think the teams are at. And honestly, I think we're looking pretty good, man. I think we're looking pretty good, and I think this is the team
Now, and you
for
know what? The big old
that's
the
gonna get
injury bomb is going to change all this. I mean, there's going to be a lot to have. There's so much more
of
time before the season
course,
starts, but
of
I mean, at the
course.
same time, there's no reason other than like if everything were to play out like logically, this is a realistic outcome. I don't think there's anything unrealistic about it.
I don't think so either. I mean, I'm taking my fandom away. I'm going solely based on, uh, you know, objectively taking a look at it. And I mean, if you really want to put that the Dolphins end up going 12-5, Bills go 12-5, but we have the tiebreaker, which is why we win the division. But then Bengals are go 13-4, and they're #2 behind Kansas City, and we're 3. I can see that too. You know what I mean? But it's only because the gap between the Dolphins and the Bills is closed. And I don't know how to tell people any more than that. It's closed. And what proved it more than anything else? Which people can say, well, the snow came in and Tua, blah, blah. No, 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 no. What showed me that the gap went like this into is the playoff game. Not only did we beat them at the beginning of the season, and let's be honest, we beat them in the second game at home, away, but they ended up coming back last minute.
Oh, and
That
by the way, Miss
playoff
Finn,
game, that
I'm
playoff
sorry.
game. Oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead. I'm sorry. I was just going
Oh,
to add about
let
the
me finish
snow
it for
thing.
2 seconds.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go with the
No,
snow, and
you
then
got it.
I'll
You got it. I gotta reserve the host. Go
okay.
ahead.
So the reason why is because look at what we did. We went down 17 points, and in that same playoff game with our seventh round rookie, we had that game. If it wasn't for McDaniel literally not paying attention to the clock, I blame McDaniel mostly for all of that. I blame McDaniel because had he not been puffing and would have actually paid attention, we would have been able to call the timeout on time, set the right play, and actually been able to execute. And then we would have gotten that and went from 4th and 3, it would have, or fourth and 8 or whatever it was. We would have been able to get that first down. We would have never gone to 4th and 8. Would have stayed at 4th and 3. We would have gotten that first down, and then we would have been able to keep marching and keep building up on the lead we already had. But no, my man Daniel not paying attention didn't do it right. We had a bad play that resulted in a drop ball by my guy Gesicki. But you know what? At the end of the day, that drop ball, you know what? I can't put it 100% on Gesicki because first of all, it was outside. A. Second, it was towards the ground. B. Third, he had a player on him. So it was already a difficult shot, a lot to ask for your seventh round rookie, which in my opinion excelled in that game. based on where he was drafted to where he ended up playing. So yeah, that game showed me everything I needed to see. It's over for the Bills. They don't have this
Well,
division.
Miss Fins, I'll say I
Go
can
ahead.
excuse most tight ends for missing that catch. I can't excuse an elite tight end for missing that catch, though. You know what I mean?
I understand. And you think that Gesicki's elite?
No, I'm just saying that, like, I would only criticize an elite tight end for dropping that one. But it was a nice pass, and it should have been caught. But I wouldn't hyper criticize a guy that's even in just an above average tight end because that, they're tight ends. I mean, it's like, and
Yeah, I get it.
they get a little distracted a little bit easier than a wide receiver when it comes to keeping their eyes on the ball. You know what I mean?
It's true. It's true. It's true.
It's
Well, you
not
were
a
saying
bad
about
thing.
the
I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm just saying
throw shade is fine. I
Kelsey,
think it's
your
valid.
Kelseys, your Gronks, those guys of the world would have made that catch.
It's true. Agreed. Agreed. So go ahead and go and talk about that because that's it's gonna be our
Oh,
last
I
point.
was
I gotta
just
get
gonna
out of here.
say for one little piece to make the guys that are clamoring for Dalvin Cook to come. I'll give them a little encouragement. There's something to be said for how much braking speed does a running back lose in the snow, right? Well, Dalvin Cook has played quite a few games in the snow, being in the NFC North for his career. You know what I mean? And I'm not so certain that we couldn't have salted that game away in Buffalo if Dalvin Cook wasn't our running back at the time. You know what I mean?
Hey,
When the
maybe,
when the
maybe.
snow started to fall.
Yeah, it's true. Look, Manzano says here, I'm gonna push back on that second Buffalo game. Tua played well the first three quarters, but remember it was clear. Quarters. When it got to the fourth quarter, it was a blizzard condition. He disappeared. It wasn't blizzard position. First of all, it drizzled. That's it. Let's not make it more than what it was. It was just a drizzle. And more than anything else, yeah, I'll tell you this. It, mm, it was unfortunate. That's all I gotta
I
say.
don't know,
It
Miss
was,
Fins. When it
a
first
little bit.
started to fall, when we had the ball and it first started to fall, there was some pretty heavy flakes and some pretty decent wind.
Listen, I'm not a Buffalo Bills fan, okay? I don't blame weather.
No, I just mean enough for us to still have been, like it was perfect situation for us to just jam the ball down their throat with a decent running game. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes,
It
that's
was
what we should
tailor
have done.
made for that.
That's what we should have done. But yes, no, I personally, nah, guys, come on, man, come on. It's not even. That's not. I do believe that at this point, mm, yeah, we should have been fine. We should have been fine, and it is what it is. It happened. It's upsetting, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do at that point?
Well,
Sit
that's
there?
why I was giving that's why I was giving hope to the people that want Dalvin Cook because what do? You
Run
give
the
the ball to
ball.
a guy like Dalvin Cook in that situation who
Yeah,
has
exactly.
extensive experience running in the snow and keeping his good first step, in the snow.
Agreed.
That's a
And
serious advantage against a slowed down defense because it's snowing.
exactly. And I think that that's something that McDaniel to Anthony's point. I think this year it's gonna be a lot of running game. Definitely a lot of run games. He's going to start adding more air raid, spread, and run and shoot concepts into his West Coast scheme. Hey, listen, I think he's going to be phenomenal at this point. But Color, man, you were phenomenal. I gotta have you come back tomorrow, man. Because tomorrow I'm gonna come back live again. We're gonna discuss some more stuff. But definitely, I appreciate you coming through and
Oh,
actually
my pleasure. My pleasure.
being a
I
fan.
put a lot of energy into yesterday, so unfortunately I woke up too late to do my show this morning. But I will be back in action tomorrow, fresh. I'm gonna probably try to do earlier than you, like with our top of the tailgate, even though
Yeah,
Ali's out. But
Yeah, well, I know
yeah, so
you do yours at 6 to 8, which is great because I
right,
go at 8. So
right,
definitely, and then send them right over here, and then you can come over too, and then we can just discuss it. I got some stuff I want to do, and I got this information too. I didn't get a chance. I guess MCJB dropped a new song. I'm gonna have to play it tomorrow for everybody, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and
right
do
on.
that to support
You
obviously
changed your outro music. I've been gone too long. Look at that.
Oh no, it's the same one. It's the same one. It's been a while. 'Cause, things have been a little off. But I appreciate you, Color, for being here. You can stay for a second. I'm just gonna close it out with you here. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming through. I really do appreciate each and every single one of you guys for being here. Thank you for honestly making it happen. Thank you for being exactly what we need. You know what I mean? And and we're gonna have even more fun tomorrow. Manzani said I'm gonna make a big prediction. I think Dalvin Cook goes to Dallas. Cedric Wilson and we trade Wilkins for D Hop and move Waddle into the slot. We'll see. We'll see. Did you see the breaking news yesterday that Lionel Messi? Yeah, I saw that. I don't care because I don't like Messi, but hey, congrats, I guess. He's all right. All right, but everybody else, thank you so much for coming through, guys. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. You guys are the best. Stay safe, have fun. Again, let's get to 1,000 subscribers. Keep hitting the like button and subscribing, guys. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. I appreciate you. And like I always say, we win together, we lose together. Dolphins for life. Bye bye.